Before the Bravos is back, and the Braves are back home at Doran Park after a night off, and they're bringing in the Brewster Whitecaps here at beautiful Bourne, Massachusetts. Yeah. Nick Galley, what's going on? How was the off day? How you doing?
Oh, man, the off day was fantastic.
Was it?
It was fantastic.
Anything to share? Did you do anything fun?
Did some riding yesterday. We just kind of hung out, relaxed, enjoyed the day. Good weather.
Absolutely.
For the majority of the day, so good day. How was your off day?
It was good. Relaxing,
A couple of good off days right there,
baby.
It
was, relaxing. Had a nice dinner, and got to bed early, which means I'm alive and rejuvenated for tonight's broadcast. And the Braves should be too after a win on Wednesday night. They had the off day yesterday, but they bring in a red-hot Brewster Whitecaps team. The Braves played the Caps early in the season. They beat them 9-1 and then 3-1 here at Doran Park in a rain-shortened 7-inning game. But that was a long time ago, and this is a much different Whitecaps team. Since then, the Whitecaps have found themselves in first place in the East Division. And hold your breath when you say this, knock on wood when I say this. This has the potential to be a Cape Cod League final preview.
Knock on that wood. All right, good.
It has the potential. The best team in the East versus the best team in the West. I mean, it definitely has potential to be the championship preview.
Does it have the potential, Cal?
It definitely has the potential.
It does. So, yeah, I mean, as you say, two top teams right here squaring off against each other. I think you're completely right. Of course it does. Is it going to end up like that? Who knows? I mean, we've seen this league kind of shift around a couple times, especially out east. Out west, Bourne obviously has the #1 seed locked down. But you're going to get a playoff matchup where Bourne's going to face a team that is going to play them well. We know that. We know that right now. So it's going to be really interesting come playoff time. That's something that is very close now. It's looming right over us, believe it or not. Season's kind of flown by. But, yeah, this is going to be really interesting. I think this is going to be a great matchup today. A couple of brand-new teams, basically, because obviously Bourne with the roster moves, it's been a lot since Brewster last saw the Braves. So this is going to be a really good matchup. It's going to be interesting to see how guys respond to it.
It's Friday night red jerseys for the Braves. It's Military Appreciation Night here at Doran, so there should be some fun pregame festivities. We'll get you those when they start to go on the field. But like you mentioned, a Brewster team that's fighting for the 1 spot or the 2 spot with Harwich in the East Division. But unlike the West, they're fighting for the #1 spot. There's a distance between 2 and 3. It seems like Brewster and Harwich are the teams locked in to the postseason. The West is a complete division, a complete difference, because the Braves in first place, no one's touching them.
Nope,
it's locked in first place, and it's a fight for the second playoff spot. Wareham kind of on the fringe. They've dropped a couple of games, but Falmouth and Katuitt going toe-to-toe right now, trying to get that 2 spot in the West. So how the playoffs shake out, it'll be very interesting, but we know this for a fact. They start 1 week from tonight, and that game will be here at Doran. I can't be more excited for that.
Oh, it's going to be unbelievable. I mean, before the Bravos for that game is going to be something special. Get your popcorn ready.
How about this? We'll start at 5:30.
Calvin, look at this man.
It'll be a 5:30 start for before the Bravos.
You're getting me amped up
10
already.
extra minutes for postseason baseball, but there is a lot before we get to that point, and Brewster's on first. Braves have 6 games left here. Last game against an East Division opponent is tonight against Brewster, and they're throwing out Austin Parsley, a guy whose MO is filling up the strike zone. Did walk a guy in his last appearance, won all season. The guy is special, having a great year, looking to do it again against the Brewster Whitecaps team. If you remember, way back in the first week of the season,
I don't even probably
Game
remember.
2 of the year, Austin Parsley came in as the piggyback starter to Jake Bennett and threw 4 really good innings.
I mean, Austin Parsley has been the most accurate pitcher on this staff, and that's counting the guys who have either went home, been drafted, you name it. So he has been fantastic. If I remember correctly, I think that walk was in the first inning.
First batter.
It might have been the first, I was going to say first batter.
Yep.
Because I remember right after the pregame show, we hyped him up.
For not walking anybody.
First batter, walked.
But he put it behind him really quick.
He put it behind him really quick,
absolutely.
and that is a sign of a good pitcher. He works quick. He's been one of the most fun guys to watch because he's just always in the zone. He's not dragging innings on.
Yeah.
If he gets hit a little bit, he recovers pretty much immediately, and he's been fantastic for the staff all year, whether he's starting or relieving.
And I'm just going to throw this out here as the managers are now meeting at home plate with the umpires. This could be a first-team all-jersey matchup.
It has to be.
I love
I like
the Brewster aqua jerseys with the white numbers that say Brewster across the chest, and the Braves wearing the Cape Cod Reds here on Friday night. So could be something to look out for. And very visually appealing, I would say.
Real nice.
Yeah.
Real nice. I mean, and on top of it, I mean, the red and the teal or the aqua, I mean, they go together.
Absolutely.
You know, they aren't clashing. I mean, the teams are clashing, but not the color scheme here. I mean, this is nice.
Everyone in the Cape loves the Braves. Loves the
Everyone
Braves.
loves the Braves.
Everyone loves the Braves. I was going to say the
Braves
red jerseys, but all the teams have the red jerseys that they wear on Friday night, so that's been a real hit. The Braves, I said it again, the Braves, the league-wide.
You're good. You're good.
The league-wide red jerseys on Friday nights have been a real hit. Everyone loves them except for Dalton Rushing, who's now wearing his different number. Last time he was number 18 on Friday night. Tonight he's number 17 on Friday night. His number 20 jersey doesn't fit him, but it fits Kevin Graber like a glove.
Oh, like a glove.
So Coach KG will be rocking
number 20
tonight.
He wears it well. So
he wears it sharp.
Perfect.
And he'll let you know that he wears it sharp,
he will,
too.
yeah. It'll be on Facebook later,
It will.
too.
He'll let you know
doubt.
that he's rocking it. So the Braves in their red Friday night uniforms, the Whitecaps in their aquas. Let's meet the Braves lineup. We'll run through it here real quick, and then you can pick out a couple players.
I got you.
And we can have a conversation on that. It's an interesting lineup because you're going to see the Arizona State starting outfield in this game. 2 for Bourne. We'll get to the new guy in a moment, and 1 for Brewster. So that should be something interesting you see. And one of those guys leads off the Braves. Joe Lampe back in center field, coming off his 3-for-3 performance on Wednesday against YD, a game where he reached base all 5 times. Max Anderson hits behind him, not at third base tonight, over at first, hits second. Dalton Rushing back behind the dish, hitting third, doing the catching duties. Tanner Schobel, the shortstop, hitting fourth. How about Tanner Schobel in the cleanup spot? I'm sure you'll talk about that in just a second. Hunter Jump, the new left fielder, Arizona State guy, transferring to Kentucky in the offseason, going to be a Wildcat next year. Talking to guys around the team, he's like Joe Lampe, except a tick slower and a tick more pop. So that's the comp right there to Hunter Jump. Fun name. You'll see him hitting fifth, playing in left field tonight. Christian Knapczyk back in the lineup after 4 games off. He's back at second base, hitting sixth. Colby Thomas moved down in the order. He's been really up and down. When he's up, he's hitting the ball up over the fence. But when he's down, he's swinging and missing a lot. So Coach Harvey Shapiro moves him down to the 7th spot in the Braves order. Josh Moylan, who is the hottest hitter on the team right now, in my opinion, hitting 8th, doing the designated hitting duties because you can't take him out of the lineup right now. And then hitting 9th is Nick Goodwin, who fouled the ball off his leg that was Monday in Orleans. Took the last couple of games off, back healthy in the lineup tonight, playing third base.
4 guys I'm looking at for tonight. I got
4 for 4.
I got 4.
A 4 for 4.
Wendy's,
I was going to
Wendy's
say, do you have Wendy's on your day off?
Huh?
You have Wendy's on your day off?
I didn't.
You're coming in 4 for 4.
I didn't have Wendy's. No.
Okay.
What did I have on my day? I think I made myself a sandwich.
Must
maybe
have been some kind of day off. Then.
I mean, turkey sandwich, I think. Not Wendy's, though, but we're coming with the 4 for 4. So,
before I just want to interrupt you to let the people see what's happening on the field. Veterans are out onto the field on Veterans Appreciation Tonight. Good group going out to home.
Nice little turnout, too.
Yeah, good group going out to the pitcher's mound to throw out tonight's ceremonial first pitch. And a good group of kids coming from the Braves Kids Camp, also coming out onto the field. But you can continue talking about turkey sandwiches or whatever you're going to banter about.
Yeah, so I was going to say, my 4 guys look out for you. A little 4 for 4 comment there. Number 1, Joe Lampe. Before the game the other night, Joe actually was talking to me. He goes, I'm going to get 3 hits tonight. We're going to win. And I'm just going to enjoy the night going in the off day.
What?
And I go, all right, do it. And sure enough, he did it.
Wow.
3 hits, the win, got on base all 5 times. He didn't mention that, but he got on base all 5 times. And then he could relax for the off day.
Wow.
So bada bing, bada boom.
He spoke it into
existence.
That
he
is
did.
crazy.
He really did. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Absolutely.
Second guy I'm looking at, Hunter Jump. I mean, this guy's making his debut. He has a great baseball name. And his stats at ASU were outstanding.
We're to take a break as they recite a poem here at Doran Park to pay tribute to our veterans.
Waving proudly in the breeze, standing so tall and true, is our beautiful flag of the red, white, and blue. Defenders of our flag is the reason we're still here. Because of your brave souls, we have shed many a tear. Tears of hope and tears of pain, of joy and admiration. Thank you for your sacrifice and for your dedication. We are grateful to be here as we bow our heads and pray, remembering all veterans as we honor this day. Thank you. Fans, please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem. Joining the players on the field tonight are this week's clinic participants. The Braves are delighted to welcome back Michelle Bourne to perform tonight's anthem. Michelle is a music teacher at Bournedale Elementary and owner of Music by the Bay in Buzzards Bay.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Beautiful poem, a beautiful national anthem, and a beautiful night for baseball here at Doran Park as we round up before the Bravos, previewing the Bourne Braves and the Brewster Whitecaps for the third and final time of the season. Nick, you were cut off. You had two more guys you wanted to highlight in the Braves lineup tonight.
Yeah, so as I was saying, Hunter jumped, great stats at ASU, but moving on, Tanner Schobel in the 4th spot
Interesting.
today. That just shows you how much confidence Harvey Shapiro has in this guy, how much confidence he has in the fact that this is a kid who's been heating up. He's looked really good driving in guys, and more consistent play has really helped him, really benefited him. And then the final guy I'm looking at, it's got to be Josh Moreland. I mean, this is a guy who's feeling good. We're seeing the ECU version of Josh Moreland that we've been waiting for all year. All it took was a couple hits, and this guy is starting to look like his old self. So that's really positive to see. That's a great guy to have in the 8 spot when he's productive.
Absolutely. You narrowed it down to 4, but I'm going to need you to pick one for your pick to pop on this evening.
Okay.
You knew it was coming.
I know. I'm gonna stick Moylan. I'm
Okay.
gonna go Moylan.
All right, you're going Josh Moreland. I'm going to go with Max Anderson
I like it.
tonight. I think he's going to get back to playing Max Barrels baseball, but it should be a fun game. Two teams that pitch very well going toe-to-toe. If you like old-timey, low-scoring baseball, this, on paper, has the possibility to be the game for you. Reeves and Daniel have the call here from Doran Park. It should be a fun one. The Bravos and the Whitecaps going toe-to-toe in just a couple of minutes. Enjoy the game, everybody.
It's the best versus the best here tonight at Bourne Park. As the top seed in the West, the Bourne Braves take on the top seed in the East, at least for the moment, the Brewster Whitecaps. Welcome in here to Bourne Park in the Braves broadcast booth. Reeves Jackson and Daniel Coates welcoming you into tonight's first place battle between Bourne and Brewster. Daniel, what a matchup we have tonight on Lions.
And it's the battle of the divisions now. We have the top spot, Bourne Braves in the West, and the top spot, Brewster Whitecaps, almost what seems like a collision course for a potential championship matchup as the Braves have their military reds on and the sharp teal look from the Brewster Whitecaps. The Whitecaps are a team to keep your eyes on as we go into the playoffs, because as much as we talk about who we're going to see in the West, you also kind of have to think a little bit further as far as what the matchup would be against Brewster if we were to make it that far, and we're going to get a bit of a preview here tonight.
Well, the last time we faced these Brewster Whitecaps, it was here at Bourne Park. Braves escaping with a close victory, a game that was ended in the 8th inning. Due to the rain, Braves held a lead in that game, ended up winning. The first time they faced Brewster, that was at Stony Brook Field, and the Braves won that game big. As Austin Parsley steps in, and the first pitch thrown here to Mac Bingham, skied into shallow center. Out Napchak at second base today. He calls off Joe Lampe. He makes the catch for out number one. Tell you about tonight's defensive alignment. Some new players back in the lineup here tonight. One really new one. That is Hunter, jump left fielder, that will be transferring from Arizona State to Kentucky, making his debut for the Braves. In center, Joe Lampe. Right, Colby Thomas. Third to first, Nick Goodwin back in the lineup. Tanner Schobel, Christian Napchak returns and is in the lineup. Max Anderson at first, battery combination, Dalton Rushing, and Austin Parsley. Nice change up there to Spencer Jones, two-hole hitter and center fielder tonight. Good start here early on from Parsley. One pitch and a first pitch strike on the second pitch of the night to Spencer Jones.
How about our two favorite infielders back in action here tonight? Christian Napchak back off of a 5-game break. He had some family matters to attend to, but Tanner Schobel takes over short. He takes over second and kind of bails out Joe Lampe, who was as fast as ever flying in, but he called him off and made a good play to start off this game.
1-1 from Austin. Change up, called strike on the outer half. Well, this is a Braves team that has gone through a lot of change, and I think that we have gone through what that has looked like pretty well over the course of the past week and a half to 2 weeks. Obviously, they lost Braylon Wimmer. Recently, they lost Dylan Bowers and Cade Smith in the bullpen. There was some thought that they would maybe lose Tristan Vreeling, but it sounds like he might be staying around as a fastball rings up. Spencer Jones, outside half. Good start for Austin Parsley, 2 up, 2 down.
And that means it's going to come down to the new additions that we have in the bullpen. Specifically, I'm thinking Stewart and Ward. These guys need to step up, especially after Bowers, who seemed like he was just catching his stride down here on the Cape, that now we're going to be lost with him and moving towards the playoffs. We need to find ways to continue to fill those voids.
Yeah, obviously, Dylan Bowers, player of the game, co-player of the game, I should say, with an excellent outing his last time on Wednesday against YD. Called strike there to Tony Bullard, third baseman for Brewster. The Brewster Whitecaps coming in today at 19-9-3, first place in the Eastern Division. Meanwhile, Bourne at 22-6-3. Nothing in one little tapper. Right back to Parsley. You can't get much easier than that. Austin Parsley with a great start here tonight at Bourne Park. 1-2-3 go the Whitecaps. It's Brewster 0, and the Braves are coming up. Bottom of the first here at Dorn Park. Braves offense exploded for 8. Finally snapped their 3-game skid the last time they were here on Wednesday versus Whitey. The Braves line up like this tonight. We do get Christian Knapczyk back in the lineup, but he's not leading off tonight. That's an interesting signal from Harvey Shapiro. Joe Lampe is leading off. He's in center field. Batting second at first base is Max Anderson. Batting third and behind the plate is Dalton Rushing. Batting fourth, how about him in the cleanup spot tonight? Tanner Schobel batting fifth in left field. Hunter Jump batting sixth. The second baseman, Christian Knapczyk. Seventh and right, Colby Thomas. Eighth, the designated hitter, Josh Moylan. Ninth, back in the lineup over at third base, trying to break a skid right now at the plate is Nick Goodwin. They're against the right-hander from Maryland out of West Nyack, New York. It is Samuel Bello.
Yeah, Bello coming into this game, he's been hit up a bit for the Brewster Whitecaps this season. 9.44 ERA off of 4 games. This will be his 5th game, and he'll be his first start. And the last time we saw him, that was in our victory against the Brewster Whitecaps on their home turf. That was a 9-1 victory that we took away, and we scored 3 runs on him in only 2 innings pitched. So we have success against this pitcher from the University of Maryland.
0-2 here quickly to Lampe. And he chops this one up the middle. Ranging to his right is Biddison. Makes a nice play and a strong throw over to Thompson for out number 1. So Lampe hit it hard up the middle. Can't quite beat the wrap. And that'll send Max Anderson to the plate. Bello, we talked about pitchers earlier this year for other teams being somewhat of an enigma. Well, you can kind of look at Bello and say the same. 2 scoreless outings on the year. Then you look at his outing against Bourne, was roughed up, but really that ERA is kind of curved in an outlier due to that outing against Orleans. 8 hits, 7 runs, 4 of those were earned.
Yeah, and that's the one outing that jumps off the page other than his first outing against the Braves, and that was his first outing of the season. So it'll be interesting to see what exactly happens here today, but a very Joe Lampe-esque piece of batting right there where he slapped it up the middle. A good play, though, by Biddison. Just couldn't get by him.
Huge crowd here tonight at Dorn Park. Sun is out behind us. Some clouds still face our way on the field, hoping to clear out by the time the sun sets. 1-1 here, the count to Max Anderson, who, as you mentioned, over at first base tonight. Bello deals and Anderson swings and misses. That tipped off with the glove of Bourne. Going through the Brewster defensive alignment, left to right, Bingham, Jones, Lanzilli. Third to first, Bullard, Faltine, Biddison, Thompson. And battery combination of Bello and Bourne. Well, there's no shortage of B's in this last name as Anderson skies this one high and deep to center. Jones going back. He's at the wall. He leaps. He robs a homer from Anderson. What a catch out in center by Jones. Almost flipped over the wall. And Max Anderson's horrible luck at the plate on deep fly balls continues.
That's the second time Max Anderson's been robbed this season. I'll tell you what, the jet stream out here today is going to be so important to keep an eye on. That was what seemed to be a routine fly ball to center field. It continued to drift after winds that seemed almost tornado-like during the pregame that came through here at Dorn Park. But poor Max Anderson, you can't get any luck with that deep ball, huh? Only 1 on the season. That looked like it was going to be number 2 if it weren't for Jones.
Here is Dalton Rushing, arguably the Braves' best hitter this season. Don't think there is much debate as far as the power numbers go. And Christian Knapczyk, obviously the 2 Louisville guys, clearly the best 2 hitters on the Braves this season. Rushing, hard grounder off of the diving glove of Thompson. Rushing trying to beat the throw and does. It's a 2-out single. Good start for Dalton Rushing tonight, and the Braves have the game's first hit.
It's nice to see the Braves making contact and forcing the Brewster Whitecaps to make a defensive play. It's a good sign for what is to come for a team that has, in a way, lost its offensive firepower. They certainly found it 2 days ago against YD in that 8-2 victory.
Well, you want to talk about a hitter that is about as hot as the sun right now. That is Tanner Schobel, and for good reason, getting moved up into the cleanup spot tonight. An average now above 300, which is good for second best on the Braves. Talk about a meteoric rise. As Schobel lines this one into right field, that's a base hit. Rushing will play it station to station, and the Braves looking for what they love doing best, Daniel, some 2-out magic with Hunter Jump coming to the plate. Talk about this for an intro to a team.
The left fielder from the University of Kentucky, number 29, Hunter Jump.
So Jump out of the left-handed batter's box. And Daniel, you want to talk about introducing yourself to a team? Well, no better opportunity for Jump than right now.
Yeah, look at this. Jump with an opportunity to get the Braves on the board first, and Bello continues to struggle against the board.
Jump takes a slider, called strike.
And as I was saying, this is another addition along with Costello. Costello and Jump for the Braves is going to be a huge next few games for them because of what they can provide as far as we move into the playoffs. Not necessarily additions that are going to wow you at the plate, but they need to produce in situations like these.
Well, Jump, obviously very familiar with our own center fielder and Joe Lampe, played at Arizona State together. But Jump, part of a big transfer wave heading to Kentucky. We mentioned John Thrasher, someone who was on the team, going from Hartford to Kentucky. 1-1. This one skied away, foul. Obviously, we know Ryan Ritter, another player at Kentucky. Among many here, Braves were expected to have another Kentucky pitcher this year in the name of Cole Stupp. Obviously, due to innings limits, a lot of players don't come to the Cape for that reason. And if you don't come to the Cape for that reason, well, that means you probably had a pretty successful season. So Kentucky really showing their true colors of great baseball here in the Cape in 2021. 1-2 here from Bello to Hunter Jump. And fouls it back. Daniel, we'll talk about high praise for a guy in his first game being already inserted into the 5 spot in this lineup. What do you think that says about him from Harvey Shapiro?
Well, it says that he was a pickup that they had their eyes on for a while, I have to assume. I mean, the 5 spot, not necessarily like he goes in and has a great batting practice and you say, ooh, like maybe he could be the 5 spot. He has proven it. He was one of the most effective hitters at Arizona State, and transferring to a Kentucky SEC program that it looks like it's going to be stacked with the amount of kids and the amount of transfers that are moving towards the SEC program.
Count even here at 2-2. As I always say, deuce is wild here in the first. 2 on, 2 out, 2-2 count. Hunter Jump from Aliso Viejo, California. So we'll have to talk to Joe. Don't know how close that is to where Joe Lampe grew up. Both California kids, both ended up at Arizona State, and going far to the southeast is Jump. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Good pitch there from Bello. On the breaking ball, gets Jump, who put up a good battle. The Braves get 2 2-out singles and a robbed home run from Jones out in center field of Max Anderson. Scoreless we are as we head to the second.
Jake Thompson.
The left-handed hitting Jake Thompson gets started. Top of the second inning. Couldn't get much easier for Parsley. 1-2-3 in the first. A first pitch pop out. A strikeout of Spencer Jones. And then a bounce out back to Parsley of Tony Bullard. It is Jake Thompson, arguably the most productive hitter in this Brewster lineup. Obviously, why he's batting cleanup. First pitch strike. Here to the left-handed hitting Thompson, who on the season for Brewster is hitting .283. Has homered 3 times, has driven in 15 and has a team-high 19 walks.
This is a middle part of the Brewster Whitecaps lineup that is fairly dangerous. You look at our lineup, and most of it is at the top. Of course, we have batters who can produce on the bottom end, but right in the middle and right in the sweet spot after going 1, 2, 3 in the top of the first. This is going to be a real tone setter as far as how Parsley's outing is going to go. Because as usual, he comes out and he knows what he's going to deal to these guys. But for him to continue to do so and really get through that first part of the lineup and get through the lineup in his first round as a whole, and to post a scoreless score, I should say, that's going to be really where it comes down to.
Well, it's been quite some time since we have seen Austin Parsley on the mound. 8 days, in fact, so a little over a week. The last time we saw him, Peter Burns was setting us home with a walk-off single up the middle against Orleans. Obviously, a lot has happened and transpired since then. This one fouled away. Almost a great catch by Sparky. Back on the road behind us. Parsley in that outing, 5 innings of 5-hit, 1-run baseball. Walked 1, struck out 7. That was his season high in strikeouts in a game this year. Parsley on the season, what an incredible strikeout to walk ratio. 29-1. 22 in the third innings, has allowed 19 hits. This one over to first. Anderson hats off his glove on a backhand stab. That'll be an E3 for the Braves first baseman, who has had some defensive struggles in the Braves infield a little bit recently. Had the air versus Katuitt, in which that game was obviously a wash for the Braves. And then Wednesday, in a Braves 8-2 win. Braves were better defensively, still committed 2 errors. So Brewster with the runner on and Jake Thompson. Here's Chris Lazilli, who takes low for ball 1. And Daniel, as we examine these two teams, obviously the Braves 6-4 in their last 10. The Star, by their name in the standings, have already clinched the Western Division. And will have the 1 seed, a home game Friday on the first night of the playoffs, which we're excited to see whoever we will host. Currently in our Western Division, the Katuitt Kettleers really needed that win against the Braves. Got a win on Wednesday night as well. They're 14-16-1 in second. Falmouth is in third, and Wareham been struggling 4-5-1 in their last 10, 11-16-5. They are in fourth. Good pitch from Parsley, 1-2. And then you look over in the Eastern Division. It is neck and neck between Brewster and Harwich. Still, 8 games left, I believe, to decide who's going to get that 1 seed. If I had to guess today, it'd be Brewster, but still, it's not a shoo-in yet for Brewster to be that 1 seed, so this is a game that they would love to win today.
Yeah, a game that they would really have to win in order to feel good about moving into the playoffs with the 1 spot. Is a close call there from Parsley. But just looking at the West as well, it's as neck and neck as you get with Wareham, Katuitt, and Falmouth. We do have the home field advantage, but we've had history with each and every one of those teams.
Grounded over to third. Goodwin, Knapcheck, Anderson around the horn for 2. Good turn by the Braves around the horn. We mentioned 3 double plays when they faced Katuitt on Tuesday. The Braves loving that pitcher-friendly ball lately.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what, that 5-4-3 double play has become routine for this team. It's unbelievable. And, again, it goes back to you're able to put really all these natural infielders at whatever position in the infield that Harvey Shapiro wants. You now have Nick Goodwin down the third base line. He was able to make the play, gun it over, and it finished where usually you see Max Anderson at third, where that he is now playing first base and, again, making up for an error to start off this inning.
Here's Chad Castillo. Count even at 1-1, but yeah, obviously that's big for the Braves, inducing these double plays. Don't know who we'll see out of relief tonight. Obviously this is a thinning Braves bullpen. We've talked about the departures. We're expecting an arrival in tonight who could be activated as soon as tomorrow. Don't know who that is yet, just a name that, I should say, a player that we have heard is coming in. So that'll be good for the Braves bullpen. They obviously added John Garcia. Lucas Costello picked up his first hit on a bunt single on Wednesday night. Obviously Braves were off yesterday. And then obviously adding Hunter Jump, who was inserted right to the middle of that Braves order. 1-2, the changeup. What a pitch. Takes care of Chad Castillo as the Braves bats will look to get on the board. And Austin Parsley looking good early. Well, boy, is it great to see Christian Knapchak back in the lineup after a multiple-day absence. Knapchak's last game was July 24th. That was a Braves win. Final score of 2-1. The Braves 2-3 in their last 5. Meanwhile, Brewster 3-1-1 in their past 5. So Braves needed that win Wednesday. That was huge after a 3-game skid. All 3 of those losses came in a row as a first pitch strike to Christian Knapchak. But Daniel, last inning for the Braves offensively, an issue that has continued to plague them all season long. They're getting runners on base. Granted, this was just with 2 outs, but we saw it obviously early and often as this one off the glove of Bello. Has to hurry to get Knapchak and does by half a step. Might have been a tie, but it went to the Brewster Whitecaps. But back on the conversation after the first out of the inning, Bourne had a bunch of chances on Wednesday night against YD. They left the bases loaded and no outs with only scoring 1 run against Katuitt. And obviously, we chronicled the Braves' problems with leaving runners on base early and often throughout the season. So what can they do to alleviate those problems when it comes to the playoffs?
It comes down to getting ahead earlier on in the inning. A lot of our production has come with 2 outs, and it goes back to YD and 2 nights ago, and it really also comes back to the opening night where we identified that problem in our victory against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. We only scored a few there, and as the Harbor Hawks weren't able to get a run across the board. But again, it comes down to producing and setting up your lineup so you know you have guys that can send runners across home plate. And the answer is up to these guys. They just have to put the ball in play. And even we look back at the Katuitt game where there was a bases loaded situation, full counts. Twice we had men swinging at high fastballs that were well out of the zone, and that could have resulted in 2 runs.
Thomas pokes this one to short. Slow roller, Faultine charges, has to hurry, and does to get Colby Thomas. As Josh Moylan steps to the plate for the Bourne Braves. How about the emergence of Josh Moylan, who recently had found himself moving up in this Braves order? Moylan, who has now hit safely in 4 consecutive games. Obviously, it started with that home run in the loss to Harwich. But good to see Josh Moylan back on track for the Braves and really finding his stride at a time when the Braves need him most.
really, really impressed by how Joshua Moylan's been batting. And I actually saw him after the game against YD a couple nights ago, and if you can see that black barrel on the bat, he said, this thing's been good for me. In the past 5 games, he's opted with that bat. So, baseball is so mental. And
it's very superstitious. You know it.
Yeah, it's ritualistic. It's superstitious. And for Josh Moylan, it works, and the stats are proving that.
Well, a favorable call on the outer half. Therefore, Samuel Bello. Our home plate umpire tonight is Mark Delaney. Mitch Goldman over at first. Third base is John Putala. Bello, as we mentioned, from Maryland, facing the Pirate from East Carolina, and Moylan. Nick Goodwin rounds out this Braves lineup. He's over at third. Moylan, the DH tonight. Anderson getting a chance at first. As Moylan calls time at the plate. Well, Daniel, one of the prettier nights, I know obviously wasn't here for the game on Wednesday, but was watching that from Boston, and what a night for baseball that was on Wednesday night.
Very similar to tonight, and I even was going to say it, and I know the joke is, as Moylan goes down, the joke is that every time I say it's a beautiful night for baseball, I look back around me, and there's a black cloud heading my way. I don't think that's going to happen tonight.
Not tonight.
And I can, put my hat on that and know that we're going to really have a good night for baseball, and it's going quick.
It is going quick indeed. We head to the top of the third inning, scoreless here tonight on a beautiful night from Bourne. Top of the third inning. Brewster sends their 7, 8, and 9 to the plate. Austin Parsley yet to allow a hit through 2. And to take it through the next 2 innings, my partner, Daniel Coates.
Thank you, Reeves. Scoreless here after the first 2 in Bourne, Massachusetts. A packed crowd here tonight, Reeves, as well as some special guests for you that are coming from down south.
Yeah, my family getting to come up to Boston. That's where I was on Wednesday night. Calvin so effectively filled in for me, did a great job on the call. Was happy for that, and yeah, I got to go to a Red Sox game at Fenway for the first time ever last night, although they got smoked by Toronto. It was an incredible experience. By far and away the best field
we love Dorn Park, but Fenway might be a step up from
hey,
that.
we got Froggy's pull. They got Pesky pull. I think Froggy's wins. No, but it was great. Had some good restaurants. Went to some good restaurants, had some good food, had some good drinks, and
Nice.
it was just a good time. Boston's an incredible city. We had fantastic weather both days. Rained for the first 3 innings of the Red Sox game, but tell you what, that is a cool city, and enjoyed me some good Italian food as well as a lobster roll, which I finally indulged myself in.
Finally, you were able to check that off your Boston bucket list. This is Burns at the plate. He's fouled off a pair. Faces a 2-2, and down he goes. Again, Austin Parsley not skipping a beat. Looking for another 1-2-3 inning. The 8-spot hitter, Nick Biddison, due up.
Yeah, great start here thus far for Austin Parsley. There's Nick Biddison, the Virginia Tech outfielder and middle infielder. He struggled on the season. Get these numbers, Daniel. 61 at-bats for Biddison, 8 hits. A 131 average. That's a pretty large sample size.
That's a tough one, especially for a guy on such a successful team. And we have seen him last time. That was, I want to say, a handful of weeks ago on a rainy night in Bourne. 1-1, trying to improve on a record of an average of 131. He has 9 RBIs, 8 for 61. Now 2-1, and as we mentioned, this could be a preview of a game that we might see a week and a half in the future, where the top in the East will face the top of the West, swing and a miss. 1 strike away from getting the second batter Parsley's faced in this top of the third. But again, we're monitoring Wareham and Cotuit as well as Falmouth. Wareham and Cotuit are playing at the moment. It was 2-1 in Cotuit's favor at the last check. That is going to do it for Biddison in the second strikeout for Austin Parsley this inning.
Yeah, great start for Austin Parsley. We've seen a lot of good versions of Austin Parsley this season. I think we might be seeing his best version tonight. This is a Brewster team. Obviously, when you're 19-9-3, you have to be well-rounded as a team. And offensively, 144 runs for Brewster. That's right in the middle of the pack in this league. But their pitching staff is simply one of the best in all of the Cape League. We know Bourne's is the best in the league, number 1, but Brewster a close 2. Obviously, this is a Brewster offense that is very good too, Daniel, but their pitching staff, you could say, has really shouldered the load at times when their offense has struggled.
And it has, as Parsley hits with the first pitch. An opportunity to go 1-2-3 here, and it really starts with the Florida State pitcher that they have. He has been absolutely stellar for the Brewster Whitecaps.
Yeah, we're going to have the home plate umpire here. He is not happy with the head coach in the Brewster dugout, who had some choice words after maybe the called strike 3 was disagreed on by Biddison there, Daniel. That's interesting.
Faultine takes this foul. We've had some interesting theatrics as far as off-the-field play. Most recently, in our loss to the Harwich Mariners after a grand slam that looked like it dropped on the warning track. It was called a home run, and Harvey Shapiro as animated as I have ever seen him. That one drifts outside. First ball of the at-bat, 1-2 to Trey Faultine, batting 137. The bottom of this order has most certainly struggled this season.
Yeah, they sure have. I remember this was beginning of the season when we saw Jake Bennett get the start against this Brewster team. Obviously, Jake has been a staple in this rotation for the Bourne Braves. It's fun. I saw Jake Bennett last night at Fenway Park.
No kidding.
Yeah, sure did. He was.
These guys enjoying the off days as much as we are.
He was coming out of the bathroom, and I literally walked out same time. Cape Cod. I was like, they looked. I mean, it's so weird seeing these players not in uniform. You never see them without it. I saw Jake. I'm like, that's got to be Jake. Reeves, go with it. I'm like, Jake, what's up? And I was like, who you were with? He said Joe and Colby. So that was good to hear.
Good for them.
How about a pitcher joining some outfielders?
It's going to be out of play and out of reach of Max Anderson. But, for these guys coming to the Cape and having access to Boston is as much a part of coming as showing off your skills and showing off for scouts. So they have the full experience, and we're glad that it's not in real lockdown COVID times where they're able to go up north and go to these games and explore the city like you and your family have done this week, Reeves. But one pitch away from another 1-2-3 inning for Parsley. A breaking ball is going to get him to another 1-2-3. And Parsley is completely dealing now on the mound. Bottom of the third we go to, and the Braves have had offense going, but no runs across the board. Bottom of the third at Dorn Park. Nick Goodwin finally back to the plate for the first time since his first at-bat at Eldridge Park this past week. He fouled one off of his ankle and had experienced cramps throughout the rest of that game and the rest of this week until now, where the off day looks like it has served him well. Swing and a miss there on some high cheese, down 0-2 with Joe Lampe in the top of the order on deck, and Lucas Costello, who flew in the day of the game at Eldridge Park, was not necessarily looking to play that day, but he was thrown in, baptism by fire, and that's how his Cape League debut went. Not successful at the plate, but was out there in left field and made a couple of plays.
Yeah, sure did. Obviously got his first hit. Talked about that bunt single on Wednesday night. Doesn't matter how you do it, as long as you get it, it's all that matters.
That breaking ball taken to left. A diving catch from the left fielder, Bingham.
Oh, they call it
They
safe?
call it safe. Diving back, Goodwin.
Wow.
And that one must have dropped or been trapped by the glove of Bingham in left field. Base knock, I have to imagine.
Yeah, well, definitely goes a base hit, but I thought for just a quick second I saw the ball come out, but I was like, okay, probably just like bobbled around in the glove, but I guess it hit the ground.
Well,
No argument.
How about that? Nick Goodwin coming out after the break and getting the Braves on. As we mentioned, this is an opportunity again where we need to prove that we can produce and get bases while we have the opportunity with no outs here. And Joe Lampe on deck. He grounded right to the second baseman, Biddison, in his last at-bat. Something that Harvey Shapiro worked so well with was the bunts and getting these base runners over into scoring position. Joe Lampe included. Now 1-2-0 with Nick Goodwin on first.
Tell you what, right now, Daniel, these shadows are brutal. Brutal for the hitters right now. That is tough to see covering the batter's box, and you got the light pole that is shadowing right in front of the pitcher's mound. That ball is going through, what, sun to shade, that's 2. Sun back to shade, 4 different colorations before you're getting to the plate. That's tough for a hitter.
It's really tough, and for these hitters, they must just be hoping to get under the lights as soon as possible. 4 balls in a row from Bello. Now men in scoring position. Nick Goodwin at second, Joe Lampe at first, with Max Anderson stepping up to the plate. The Braves have 3 hits on the day, one of which came from Nick Goodwin, who stands atop of second now. Bello still on the mound. The Braves offense is there, still looking to draw first blood.
Anderson had that home run robbed by Spencer Jones last time. Thought Max was going to get all of 395. What a catch that was, though.
Bello finds the strike zone, 0-1. This is Max Anderson, the Big Ten freshman of the year. It's been a bit quiet recently. He hits the ball as hard as any player on this team, really. 1-1 for a guy who's batting .295. He has a homer. His last at-bat was completely robbed by Jones, and that would have given the Braves a lead in what seems to be a wild wind pushing the ball out to center field, which could prove deadly for either teams. Now 1-2, and Bello has not been able to get an out this bottom of the third. Dalton rushing up in the top of the order. This is an opportunity for the Braves to really jump out ahead. As you mentioned, Reeves, the shadows are proving to be quite a challenge, not just for the pitcher, but mostly for these batters.
Yeah, obviously, Lampe had that 4-pitch walk. It's always confused me when a pitcher's been able to throw strikes all game. Obviously, wasn't missing horribly to Joe, but wasn't trying to give him anything too good to hit. But you never want to put a speedy guy like Lampe on, especially after a leadoff single with nobody on.
2-2 chopped, high, foul. Anderson really had to chase that one upstairs. It stays 2-2. Still a good job of protecting home plate with Dalton rushing on deck. windy day here at Bourne Park, the packed house on a Friday night. Only the second time we've worn these military reds.
I love them. They are so great. You mentioned the uniform combination of the red and the baby blue. No better.
There goes Anderson. It gets down in left field. Coming around is Nick Goodwin. Staying at third is Joe Lampe. Max Anderson is safe at second with an RBI double. Nick Goodwin comes in to score after his brief hiatus earlier on this week. The Braves have drawn first blood in their military reds.
Love it. How about that? Max Anderson. Dude is red hot. He can really explode at any given time. Really should have had that home run in the first inning, but takes care of business, an RBI double. He loves planting balls down that left field line when he's not shooting it to the opposite field. Early visit here for Bello. Braves have middle of the order coming up, and they're not done yet. This is what we're talking about. The Braves have to be able to capitalize on these opportunities. Second and third, no outs, have to push across more than one run here this inning. Likely more than two, hopefully.
Looks like the catching visit to the mound is really all that the pitching and the coaching staff wanted for the Brewster Whitecaps. Joe Lampe at third, Max Anderson with an RBI double. He takes a lead at second with Dalton rushing. Boy, this lineup never stops. High pop-up. Biddison shielding his eyes, coming over to the shortstop for out number one. Faltine secures it.
Yeah, obviously. Just what we talked about. Rushing with the pop-up in the infield there. Was trying to do his job and lift one to the outfield, but now we'll likely see Brewster's infield draw at least halfway in here. But these are opportunities you cannot afford to miss out on. You know, EC got to get Joe in here. He'd love to get Max in too, but this is where the Braves have struggled recently. Something we were talking about.
I wouldn't be surprised here to see some type of squeeze.
Okay, I saw where you were going there.
Schobel watches a breaking ball for strike one.
Well, infield's back right now, so that's a good time to do it. Third baseman's not playing in. A little safety squeeze action. You got a speediest runner in Joe over at third. I like that idea, Daniel. I like that a lot.
And I joked earlier on, and we've joked about this throughout the season, that I've never seen a manager who loves the bunt more than Harvey Shapiro. Just an old school coach, conservative on the base path, but aggressive with the bunt.
No, absolutely. Obviously very traditional, as you mentioned, and you know, as hot as Tanner's been, definitely probably will hit away, but I love the idea of a bunt right here.
1-1. Chopped foul towards the Whitecaps dugout. The Whitecaps wearing their camo hats and their teal jerseys with the white pants. It's a sharp look. That with the Reds are popping today here at Bourne Park.
It's the battle of colors. It's like Color Rush on Thursday Night Football.
It is kind of. It's like the highlighter colors we got on the field today.
Wow, good pitch.
Great pitch. That's going to do it for Tanner Schobel. He watches a breaking ball drop off the table and into the zone.
Well, another opportunity for Hunter Jump.
Jump batted about .280 this past season with the Sun Devils.
Number 29, Hunter Jump.
Going to Kentucky and former teammates with Joe Lampe. He steps in his second at-bat of his Bourne Braves career with Joe Lampe at third and Max Anderson behind him at second.
How big could it be if Jump could really burst onto the scene for this Bourne Braves team? Not necessarily tonight per se, but throughout the remaining week of the season heading into postseason play would really spark this Braves offense, needing another bat in that middle of the order, trying to get Jump inserted there. And I think maybe Knapchak, a calculated move to hit him 6 with how well he's been hitting, although he's been gone.
High and deep drive to center field. Going back is Jones. He's going to secure it just shy of the warning track. A fly ball to center field. That is going to be the second at-bat for Hunter Jones, 0 for 2 on the day. And stranding again, two Bourne Braves in scoring position. Continues to plague this team and really prove to be costly. Needs something. But the Braves take a 1-0 lead. And we're going to go sooner to the top of the fourth. And I'm going to send it down to you, Calvin. Talk about just Austin Parsley's outing. 1, 2, 3, 3 times in a row going into his fourth inning. He has been stellar coming out of the bullpen and in the now starting position for this Bourne Braves team.
Well, Daniel, for a pitching staff for the Braves that have been so good all season, they ran into some trouble in that 3-game losing streak. 30 runs in those 3 losses the Braves gave up. But tonight, Austin Parsley is flipping the switch. 3 no-hit innings right now, 5 strikeouts. He's got that strikeout pitch working. Go back to his last start against Orleans, a season-high 7 Ks that time. Already at 5 tonight, just 3 innings in. So the Braves getting another great stop from Austin Parsley, and hopefully he can keep rolling as he gets probably 2 more innings of work before the Braves head to the bullpen.
Welcome back, folks. We just had to turn on the audio. Wouldn't work well if we did it.
Yeah, that would be pretty bad, Daniel.
But I
really bad.
have Nick Galley, our beat writer, on with me. We're going to talk a little bit about the Braves taking a 1-0 lead now. Early on in this game, Austin Parsley is throwing what looks to be a gem at the moment. He's gone 1, 2, 3 in all 3 of his innings, looking to do so once again, starting things off with Bingham.
I mean, Parsley is wheeling and dealing right now.
Something about those military reds and the
guess
camo
so,
hats,
but
huh?
I think this is probably, I mean, he's looked good in pretty much every outing we've seen him, whether it be relief or a starting appearance. But, I mean, this has to be the most stellar one that we've seen from him.
The 0-2. Ground ball over Nick Goodwin's way. It gets through the 5-hole. And getting to first is going to be Bingham. The first time he's on the base path tonight. And the third base defensively has struggled this past week. Max Anderson had 2 errors against Katuitt at Lowell Park, and Nick Goodwin with an E5 there.
I mean, yeah, realistically, Parsley, I mean, should have had allowed no base runners tonight. Only 2 guys to reach, 2 errors. So if he just keeps pitching how he's pitching, he's going to be fine. Last time, guy got on with the error to lead off the second. Thompson got on, and next batter, double play. So hopefully Parsley can do that again here. I'm sure he's looking to do that.
Bingham taking a lead at first. Here comes the 2-spot hitter in Jones. He was in center field and stole one away from Max Anderson back in the first inning. That was a bomb as far as we've seen one go out to center field here at Doran Park, 1-1.
Yeah, Max Anderson's swinging a good stick today. Obviously had a home run taken away in the first inning there, but RBI double down the line, so he's feeling real good today so far.
Yeah. He's hitting it hard. And
yeah. Maxie
Barrows. That's a hard hit. Drive to left is going to drift foul. Parsley stays alive, but talking about jump, he's been in 2 opportunities where he could have scored runs for the Braves in the batter's box. He's 0 for 2 on the day, and he's making contact. It's just you got to find your footing here in the Cape.
Oh, you have to. I mean, every guy that we've seen come out here, their first performance, and someone's go. Oh my!
Bingham going that one, taking to right field. I think it's going to drift foul, and it will just foul. It was close to Froggy's pole, but the umpire says it did not wrap around. Bingham will have to go to first. Jones just missing a wraparound home run down right field.
My goodness.
That's about as close as it gets.
I don't know. That kind of looks fair to me. I mean, we don't have a good angle, really. I can't really tell, but it looked like it cleared the fence kind of directly over the foul pole. That's what I thought. I don't know.
I thought it was drifting foul the entire way. It was certainly above it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
the Braves can breathe a sigh of relief.
No home runs, so I guess I'm wrong, but.
Well, Parsley's now ahead, 1-2, another foul ball from Jones.
I mean, he's working ahead every hitter. That's what I think makes Austin Parsley so effective. If you're in the batter's box against him, chances are you are down in the count. For the majority of your at-bat, too. You might draw even, but for the most part, I mean, you're in a hole, and you got to dig yourself out of it.
And I'll tell you what, even when he's ahead, he does not mess around.
No.
He's not throwing a lot of junk. He's not trying to bait you. He's going to go at you with what he led off with. There he goes, Bingham. The throw from Rushing. Did he get him?
Oh.
Underneath the tag, safe at second. Bingham improves. A good throw from Rushing, just a bit high. The tag from Schobel might have been a bit late. A good slide from Bingham from first to second.
That was close, but yeah, I think he got under that one. Throw was just a little bit high. Took a little bit longer for Schobel to come down with the tag. Kind of put the tag down on Bingham's back, and definitely got the hand in there, so good call.
No more double play ball. That one ripped up the middle for a base knock. Will Bingham round third? He will not. The throw in from Lampy in a first and third situation with no outs in the top of the fourth. Parsley has not dealt with this tonight so far, and
Got to spin one here. Got to spin one.
that's the first hit of this game for the Brewster Whitecaps right up the middle. There is a double play scenario with the middle of the infield as Dalton Rushing shows signs, but Nick, this is going to be almost, I don't want to say this may be too early, but almost a game-defying at-bat and a game-defying half inning.
I mean, it very well could be. You know, first and third, no outs. You have to assume at least one run's going to score, but you got to limit the damage here. You'd love to get out of this scoreless, but that'll obviously be a tough task. But Austin Parsley, seen him get out of jams before. We know he has effective stuff. If anyone on the staff can do it, Austin Parsley is definitely one of those guys. We've seen a lot of guys on the staff. Michael Sansone, Jake Bennett, Austin Parsley, Tristan Vreeling. These are all guys that can work out of jams. Even the new guys, Tyler Stewart the other night in the 8th worked out of a jam.
0-1, another foul ball ahead 0-2. And with some depleted bullpen we have in left field, who's a guy that you would keep an eye on as far as coming in later in this game?
Well, I see Etheridge out there right now warming up a little bit, so I think Etheridge is going to be the move. I think he'll be the guy to come in.
From Southern Miss, yep.
From Southern Miss, yeah. And Southern Miss guys this year, they've been, I mean, Tyler Stewart's looked decent in his first couple outings, and the other night was his best, I think, working out of that jam in the 8th. So Ben Etheridge obviously has provided some really, really good innings out of the bullpen and, you know, starting for Harvey Shapiro. And yeah, I mean, Southern Miss, I mean, these guys brought it to the Cape this summer. So
Tell you what.
Repping their school well.
And they brought us a stretch 4 for a
They
pitcher.
did.
1-2 in Stewart.
He's massive. I was talking to him, I think it was after his first outing, his debut. And I started asking the question, and I paused, and I was like, you're just so tall. Like, my phone is, I'm full extension with my arm. Feels like I'm reaching top shelf at the grocery store for a can of soup.
Well, what was it that they called Bowers?
Oh, Thor.
Thor.
Yes.
Another foul ball, 2-2. But now that Bowers is no longer on the Cape, he was going to be transferring from Northern Colorado to Virginia.
Yep.
But now that Thor is no longer here, Tyler Stewart could be the new Thor in the bullpen.
You can't replace a Thor. Like, you got to give. I'm thinking Stewart's nickname should be like Stretch or something.
The Elastic Man.
The Elastic Man's a good one.
Slender Man.
Because he's tall and slender.
2-2. That's going to be foul. A fake steal at first. That was Jones faking go at first base, and it will stay at 2-2. Bullard is not making this easy. He's batting .235. He has 1 RBI. This is just his 19th at-bat this season for the Brewster Whitecaps, and what could be a preview of a potential championship series that would commence in about a week and a half.
You got to get a strikeout here. You got to. This is big.
2-2. There he goes, the throw. Woo. He holds on to it, strikeout, and out number 1. Austin Parsley getting out of a jam, but now 2 men in scoring position for the Whitecaps.
A little bit of high ched there, and Bullard chased. Looked like he chased anyway.
Really the first time we've seen that from Parsley.
Yeah,
Usually he'll go with the off-speed or the breaking ball.
Looks like he's been sitting outside today, too, for the most part. And obviously, last inning, a few calls that Brewster didn't like. Thought we were going to see an ejection, but we didn't. And we're getting closer.
I thought we were going to see that, too. I haven't seen an umpire really go over to the
we're
dugout. But, of course, I was talking with Reeves about the Harwich game and the Harvey Shapiro, the grand slam that bounced off of the warning track. And Harvey Shapiro was as animated as I have ever seen him after that. And that really propelled the Mariners to a victory here at Dorn Park. Foul 0-1.
Oh, that kid's got to make that catch. He's got the glove. He got to make that catch.
They're in a perfect situation out there, too, right in the sweet spot of where all these foul balls are going.
That's,
you got to be on your toes out there,
have
kids.
to be on your toes.
Well,
you let it bounce.
An 0-1 count. 1-0. The Braves are leading. That lead is being threatened, however, by 2 men in scoring position. The real crooked number that the Braves have had trouble with is that error column.
Yeah.
2 on the day already today. A weak ground ball. Here comes Goodwin. He's going to opt to first. The throw. He's got him at first, but the Brewster Whitecaps have tied this game. How about that? A squibber.
Yeah, you get the out, but, you know, still, obviously, you don't want to let a run score. But 1-1, just don't give up the lead. Focus on the hitter, and Parsley will be fine.
And it seems as if the Braves' bats have shown up today. 4 hits and 3 appearances to the batter's box.
Yeah, they look fine so far at the plate. And you obviously want to, you know, you've left some guys on base. There's no doubt about it. Left some guys in scoring position. You want to start getting them home. But for a start, not a bad one for the Bourne Braves here at Dorn.
Parsley ahead once again. Jones at third. 1-1 now. The Braves have been tied. 0-2 quickly. This is an opportunity, Nick. Austin Parsley just has to get out of here and strand that man at third.
No doubt. Again, focus on the batter. 2-strike count. You can work with him a little bit, toy with him a little bit. I know Parsley doesn't do that much, as we're saying, but stay away right here. If I'm Austin Parsley, I'm staying away. I'm probably going to come with some soft stuff, and then I'm going to elevate the fastball on a 1-2 count.
Another foul ball. Staying alive.
Looks like he elevated the fastball there, so now I'm going to go soft and away. I mean, I don't think we'll see another elevated fastball, but I think there's got to be some mix-up here. You got to go soft and away, come back with that elevated fastball. I think that should be the play right here. 0-2, you're really in the driver's seat if you're Austin Parsley.
And keep these guys guessing because they have now seen what Parsley likes to go with. A breaking ball, it is. Down goes Lanzilli.
There it is.
There it is. And Nick, a tie game here.
Tie ball game.
Top of the East versus top of the West. A collision course potentially for a championship series. We will see, though, those Harwich Mariners are going to be tough to get by. But a 1-1 game, the Braves defensively have made some miscues, and the Brewster Whitecaps have taken advantage. Only 1 hit. It's 1-1 at Dorn Park. Nick, as always, it was an absolute pleasure
great to be with
having you on, and I'm sure you'll come on at some point later in this game and give us.
I'll come out of the cave.
Give us your wisdom.
I will. I got you.
Go from
I
behind.
got you.
Go from behind the keyboard to behind the mic. But Nick, as always, it's a pleasure. 1-1 here at Dorn Park. The Braves are defending home turf, but the Whitecaps have tied it up.
Second baseman from the University of Louisville, number 2, Christian Knapczyk.
Christian Knapczyk in the 6th spot. Seems like he's switching between Joe Lampe and Christian Knapczyk. between the 1 spot and the 6 spot. This is his second appearance to the plate today after a brief hiatus with the Bourne Braves, but he is going to be an integral part of our playoff run and needs to be successful if the Braves want to be successful. 1-0 to Knapczyk, who still leads this team in average coming in today with a .333 clip. To left field, a flare. Shallow left, secured by Bingham for out number 1. A lackluster start at the plate for Knapczyk.
Still getting his sea legs back under him, you could say, after the brief hiatus.
And Colby Thomas coming in, as we mentioned, one of the hardest hitting batters for this team. He has really come on in the last 2 weeks. All of his RBIs and home runs coming in that half check swing foul.
You know, I think it's a really good thing for the Braves when Colby Thomas can be productive in the 7 spot. I think, obviously, what you want in a lineup, in your ideal lineup, is to create balance, top to bottom. You don't want your offense front-loaded or even back-loaded. Usually, back-loaded is not the answer, but usually sometimes lineups can be front-loaded. For a guy like Colby Thomas, who's been seen at the 4 spot, right when Caden Wallace departed, I should say right when Braylon Wimmer departed, excuse me. Colby was moved up into the 5 spot when Caden departed, and then he's been around 6. But if Colby can find his stride, obviously you see different pitches in different spots in the lineup, just the way the pitcher works. You're not going to see as many fastballs if you're Tanner Schobel tonight, just because the cleanup hitter isn't likely to see as many fastballs. That's the guy in the order that you don't want to touch, really. Or if you're Dalton Rushing, you're not going to get many fastballs. So if Colby's getting the pitches he wants in the 7 spot, that's great news for the Braves lineup to extend it.
Most definitely. He's now tied up the count 2-2. Bello is still in. He was hit up early on this game. 4 hits for the Braves, but he remains in for the Whitecaps. We thought we might be seeing a change, but the pitching meeting between Bourne and Bello suited the coach just well on the right field dugout. 2-2 to Colby Thomas. High and deep to center field, going to his left is Jones for out number 2.
Well, Daniel, I hope we didn't speak too soon about the clouds behind us.
Oh my God.
I think we're fine.
Knock
Knock on wood. Hey, here we go.
Unbelievable. Every time, Reeves, every time we utter the words, there are clouds that look ominous behind us. Joshua Moylan to the plate for the second time, his first appearance. He struck out looking. Second chance for Bello. He starts off with a swing and a miss.
Yeah, good for Josh and the production that he's been able to have at the plate lately. He's, really found his stride. Obviously, we talked about that his last at-bat struck out looking. But Josh was co-player of the game a few nights ago.
A flare over the head of Biddison at second. Joshua Moylan's hit streak continues. With 2 outs, and Nick Goodwin, who was the only run for the Braves in this game. He started off after his hiatus with a base knock.
Shattered the bat as well. We'll have to get a new piece of lumber. You talked about that bat that he's been using. Hopefully it doesn't break the good luck at all.
Same type, same colors. Got to go back to it.
Even if it means finding someone else's.
Even if it means getting and snagging another one. Nick Goodwin adding to the firepower. Joshua Moylan rounding second, heading for third. The throw from Jones. He's going to be safe at third. Nick Goodwin with his second base knock of the game, and he looks in his prime as ever after about a week break.
Yeah, well, he snapped an 0 for 20 that first at-bat in the third inning. Number was 0 for 19 going into that game against the Orleans Firebirds. Struck out, then was pulled from that game after he fouled a ball off his foot. And then 0 for 20 he comes in today, gets that base hit to left field on the ball that was trapped out and left by Bingham. And a rope to right center. That's when Goodwin is at his best, when he's using all sides of the field, especially the right side of the field. But we'll see if Bello stays in this game. There's a lefty getting loose in the Brewster bullpen.
There's going to be a meeting at the mound. I'm not sure if this is going to result in a change, but Bello has let up 6 runs, or I should say 6 hits, and only 1 run. This game has been tied. And as I mentioned with Nick Reeves, the real crooked number for the Braves continues to be in that error column. Already 2 on the day, and we are in the bottom of the 4th. And just not something that we've been used to seeing with these Braves.
Well, it's been really primarily third base. Obviously, Max Anderson made it there today at first. Anderson had been struggling a bit at third, but the sure-handed Nick Goodwin, who's over to the third base bag, let that ball go through the wickets, and then Brewster got a run off an unearned run. So Parsley, who's been dealing out there, just one hit allowed. With 6 hits, now 2 down, you cannot leave as many runners on the base as Bourne has.
Joe Lampe watches a strike on the outside corner. Joshua Moylan leads the way at third. Nick Goodwin at first. A first and third opportunity with 2 outs. You cannot count these Braves out, especially with 2 outs. All of this production coming with their backs against the walls in this half inning. 0-1 chopped right over to the pitcher with the flick over to first. 2 more Bourne Braves stranded on the base path. 1-1 it remains. And again, the woes with men in scoring condition, or scoring position, I should say, continues. We're going to go to the top of the 5th. 1-1 here at Doran Park. I'm Daniel Coates. Alongside me, Reeves Jackson. Stay with us. We'll be back after the break.
Back up here in the Bourne Braves broadcast booth, and, well, now joined by a special guest, my brother, Will. How you doing? Good to see, obviously, the family in town from Boston. And, Will, how's this been?
Yeah, this has been incredible experience. Brings back memories from when I played, but just seeing all the people over here to my left, it's something special.
Well, when you walked up here, did you think it would look like this with all the people that you see?
No. And just from being out in the crowd the first few innings, there's people in town at this game, too, that haven't even been to a Cape game before. 2 first-place teams playing, so.
Well, it's been fun. Well, my brother Will here was a pitcher for the Georgia Southern Eagles. And at the time, they were in the Southern Conference, right?
Yeah, Southern Conference.
Before they moved to the Sun Belt.
Yep.
And then Will finished his time at Middle Tennessee State of the Conference USA. So Will has faced Vanderbilt before. He pitched against Vandy. Back was your senior year, I believe, right?
Yep, junior and senior year. So we always played them, Tennessee, in midweek games during the season, so that was always a good time.
Well, obviously, we got some Conference USA foes up here in Old Dominion, some Rice players. Obviously, Louisiana Tech had a big year in the Conference USA. But, well, obviously, us being brothers and being as close as we are, 1-1. This is chopped over to short. Schobel charges, gloves, throws across his body, makes a nice play for out number 1 on the DH, Chad Castillo. Well, obviously, the Braves run strong in our family. We're Atlanta Braves fans.
Yeah, Atlanta
and
Braves.
You played for the Stanton Braves of the Valley League.
And if you don't remember, the Alpharetta Braves too.
So,
and then now you with the Bourne Braves.
Absolutely.
So it's quite the trend.
Well, obviously, you pitched for Stanton in the Valley League, so you know what it's like to face these hitters in summer ball. Obviously, you were a pitcher. What's it like going from college and metal bats and then pitching to these hitters with wood bats? And what adjustments do pitchers have to make when they face guys with the wood?
Yeah, so I think there's really not too much of an adjustment that you would make as a pitcher. I think it's more on the mental side. You're probably a little bit more comfortable going in on hitters. The wooden bats are less forgiving than the metal, so that's one thing. But yeah, these hitters are so great that they don't really miss a beat. But you do get away with pitches here and there. Whether it's off the end or if you jam them inside. So.
Well, Austin Parsley. Boy, has he looked good so far. Just one unearned run this game. I was on the air.
I was super impressed watching him pitch. He really pounding the strike zone. Really impressive.
Yeah, 6 strikeouts through 4 1/3 for Parsley as Curtis Bourne digs in. He is 0 for 1, struck out looking to lead off the third. Obviously, Will, we've talked with host families here. Calvin has done hits with them in the crowd. Obviously, you experienced living with a host family when you were in Virginia with Stan. Tell the audience a little bit what that's like.
Yeah, so living with a host family is not only special for the player, but for the host family. My host mom, she single lady, her husband had passed away, but she always told us that she lived for the summer when she got to host 2 boys from college, and she's always making us food. She worked the gate at the game, went to all the games. It was really cool. She still sends us Christmas cards every year. I call her from time to time, and she was sure happy there was baseball back in Stanton, Virginia this year.
That is for sure. 3-2 here from Parsley. The payoff pitch, breaking ball taken into left center field. Here comes Jump, has to come a long way. Lampy comes on from center and makes a nice sliding catch indeed. Joe Lampy, one of the speedier guys on this Bourne Braves team. Well, speaking of host families, Austin Parsley, our starting pitcher tonight. Calvin interviewed his host mom, and I think you could relate to this, Will, obviously. Know how much food you like to eat. So for Austin, his host mom said, I think the thing he has enjoyed the most is getting to enjoy all the seafood here on the Cape and in Boston.
Yeah.
I'm sure you experienced the same thing.
We whatever we wanted to eat, there's constantly leftovers because we're getting back from games, whether it's home or away, very late. So always food in the fridge for us. She would make us anything, but most of the time we wouldn't even have any requests. All the food was so good that she'd make.
Well, obviously you've had teammates that have played up in the Cape League. I know Jason Richmond, he played for the Wareham Gatemen and then played professionally in the Los Angeles Dodgers and Texas Rangers organizations. You had Ryan Gridley, a Mississippi State shortstop who played actually for the Brewster Whitecaps, who just got done playing with the Oakland A's organization. So I know you've talked to them. What have they said about their time up here?
Yeah, just game-changing experience to play with all these great players from all around the country. And I think it brings an extra confidence back when they return to the schools, especially after having successful summers up here, playing against the best competition in the country. Coming from another college baseball player as myself, this is the premier league in college baseball for summer.
Absolutely. 3-1 the count here to Nick Biddison. Second baseman also went down looking on strikes. His first plate appearance, that was in the third. Parsley looking to avoid just his second walk of the entire season and gets a swing and a miss. We'll have a second consecutive payoff pitch. Well, obviously we were just in Boston, so tell the audience, what was your favorite part about Boston? Was it Fenway?
It was definitely Fenway
I think
Park.
that's an easy one. Yeah.
Being at the bars around the stadium, the restaurants, and then that center field bar was pretty cool too.
This one popped up, right side. 3 men converge. Colby Thomas in foul territory. He slides, and he makes the catch.
Wow.
Battle in the inning. Well, Will, you came on at a good time. You saw 2 defensive web gems from both Joe Lampy and Colby Thomas in right field. Will, of course, love you, buddy.
Yep,
always great to have you on. And we'll be back here from Dorn Park. Bottom of the 5th inning. Will Jackson, my brother, my family in town. Always great to have them here as this game tied at 1 as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Samuel Bellows' night is done for the Brewster Whitecaps. Will be replaced by a left-hander. That is Brennan Oxford. Oxford, who comes on from Wake Forest. We know one of those guys pretty well in our bullpen, as Anderson takes the first pitch curveball for a strike.
How about that pitch from Oxford? Completely moved from left to right and caught Max Anderson on the inside. But as you mentioned, Eric Adler's teammate here from Durham, New Hampshire. Don't often see that.
How about the night for Max Anderson tonight? He should have a home run, has a double, and now has a single. 2 for 3 on a night where he could arguably be a triple shy of the cycle. Good start for the Braves. A leadoff single and Rushing coming to the plate.
2 for 3 for Max Anderson in what probably should be 3 for 3. I mean, his ball was absolutely crushed to center field, and it still had the legs, really, to get out of here. But a good play by Jones. But a guy who needs to start heating up is Dalton Rushing. He already has a base hit on the day off of a bobbled play in the infield. But he was a guy who was riding an 0 for 15 streak and responded with a home run at the very last second at Eldridge Park that cut the lead to 5.
Want to know the count. Obviously, Anderson, who last came up for the Braves and hit that RBI double. Braves stranded runners on second and third with nobody out. They have 7 hits tonight, just 1 run to show for it. I think that's been the story of the past week for these Bravos. Fastball inside to Rushing. He's way ahead. It's been kind of an up and down roller coaster year offensively. Obviously, beginning of the year, there was no one slowing down the Bourne Braves. A power surge for a team in which wasn't expected to show as many homer numbers. First week of the season was a fun one. Obviously, the start for Bourne season, the best in over 10 years. And then, the offense kind of went in a slump as far as getting on base but not being able to get those runners in. And then it just took one game. Scored a lot of runs. I remember that Saturday against the YD Red Sox nearly 3 weeks ago. And I remember that game when Bourne didn't hit a homer but scored 10 runs on 15 hits. Offense was carried through by all the guys in the lineup for the next 2 weeks. And then over the course of the past, 8-9 days, would you say? Offense has kind of been going on that downhill slope on the roller coaster.
Yeah, it has. And we've been slowly moving downhill. But I think in the last few games we've been picking it up a bit. It's more just allowing teams to take advantage of our error column. We already have 2 early on here in the middle of this game. That's really not what you're looking for, especially posting 3 against Katuitt. Those are the opportunities that not only...
Oh, my. Rushing just hit one a mile into the trees. Foul.
Well, those are the opportunities that not only add runs, but they allow you to gain more. They allow you to gain leverage on a certain team and really allows doubt and negativity to creep into your mindset if you're a player. But Dalton Rushing, 1 for 2 on the day, looking to get it done after that bomb to right field. We've seen 2 of those today. But the last time we saw Brewster at their home field ended in a 9-1 victory. That was the second game of the season. As Dalton Rushing cannot make it 2 for 3, a half-hearted check swing on a 3-2 count.
Yeah, good pitch there from the left-hander. And Brennan Oxford as Tanner Schobel steps in. Rushing, who had a 3-1 count to his favor, hit a long foul ball and struck out at a nice breaking ball. So the Braves get a leadoff single. Strikeout for Rushing. He is now 1 for 3 on the day. Tanner Schobel steps in. Now that breaking ball from Oxford, it's a good one. We have seen a similar breaking ball from Danny Wilkinson. It's a left-hander from Harwich. Although his is more 12-6, this one more sweeping action as it goes, as you mentioned, left to right. From that left-handed batter's box back towards the plate. Schobel cuts through another nice one.
Speaking of that second game of the season, Tanner Schobel had a shot against the Whitecaps for his first home run of this season. I believe he went 4 for 5 in that outing.
Yeah, 5 ribbies. 5 ribeye steaks to eat for dinner. That'll keep you
Not
full.
to mention a bomb to left field.
Yeah. That was followed up by Nick Goodwin's 4 for 5 game.
Exactly. That was at Gov Fuller.
Boy, you look back and start talking about these games almost over a month ago now. Does not seem that long. 0-2. It's crazy how fast the season has progressed. Obviously here on a Friday night, as tomorrow marks the last day of July. We've been through about a week and a half of June. Hard to believe we will already have succumbed to the entire month of July as well. But obviously that means, 1 week closer to playoff baseball starting, as the Braves really look forward to hosting that first-round playoff game here at Bourne Park on Friday, August the 6th, against an opponent yet to be known. The train in the background, 1-2, and Schobel wisely takes it away. It just missed. Well, Daniel, do you think it'll be Katuitt? If your gut had to tell you, or do you think that it'll be Falmouth? Wareham is really the team all season, statistically speaking. Looked like they may have knocked that door down, but they have been the ones slacking the most. So it's going to be an interesting race between Katuitt and with Falmouth. Schobel breaks the bat. How about that splintering foul?
Yeah, and I don't know why. For me, Katuitt has the most firepower, I would say, and they have the most ability. Even Brooks, the UCLA pitcher for them, in particular, he has been a stud. So he scares me, and I think Katuitt is who we're going to be seeing as we look at the standings at the moment. Wareham and Katuitt are playing at the moment. However, I think Katuitt has the opportunity against us to best knock us off. I think they have the guys to do it. We saw that in their multi-hit, multi-run game earlier this week at Lowell Park. And I think with Brooks coming up against us a second time, it could prove to be a tough situation, especially when we get on the road at Lowell Park and what seems to be almost a semi-professional crowd that they bring out.
Oh, my. Yeah, you're not kidding. And I think that's what kind of scares me the most. I know Nick said it doesn't come into consideration when he was on the broadcast about a week ago, but I really do think it plays a factor. And the loud crowds, Katuitt is one of the best fan bases outside of Chatham. Payoff here. And Schobel swings, rips this one high and deep towards the left center field gap. Jones on the run. He looks up. It's going to bounce off the wall. Anderson will be held up by Harvey Shapiro. Third, he's going to run through the stop sign. Relay throw. He's safe. Anderson with a head-first slide. Hesitated for a moment, but made the right decision as Schobel drives in Anderson with an RBI double.
Harvey Shapiro put up the stop sign, but Max Anderson went right through it. And I was saying, as Harvey Shapiro put up the sign, let him go, let him run. It has to be absolutely perfect. And he took off a little bit hesitant on the turn, but able to get the lead back once again for the Braves.
A rip by Tanner Schobel, who stays extremely hot. 2 for 3 today, and an extra base hit drives in the Braves' second run. As Hunter Jump is 0 for 2 today, digs in, and for the third time in as many at-bats is batting with the runner in scoring position. Ooh, late strike call there. Jump might have thought it was a little high, but nonetheless, 0-1.
This is the third at-bat for Jump, and this is the third opportunity that he has a man in scoring position in his Braves debut. So the Arizona State turned Kentucky Wildcat has been thrown in with opportunities to get the job done, but he hasn't been able to. He's 0 for 2 on the day.
Good breaking ball there from Oxford. 0-2 the count.
And as we mentioned, this past season, he was one of the best batters along with Joe Lampe, sitting at around the 300 average mark. So he can get it done. But again, for some of these guys, the niche players, the players that we have had for the entire season, it takes a while to get used to the Cape League, get used to the wooden bat. And now 0 for 3 after looking at a breaking ball. Hunter Jump still making that transition.
Jump will talk things over with Colby Thomas, give him a bit of a scouting report on Oxford. As you mentioned, though, we saw it with Lucas Costello, and it's just so tough, obviously, to get acclimated, especially late into a season. It kind of feels like commonplace, and it feels normal when you arrive early and when you're practicing with guys. You're getting live BP, and although some of these players may very well have been playing in other summer leagues, it's just very tough to get used to. Knapcheck pokes this one, shallow left field. Bingham comes on. It's going to stick up long enough where he will make the catch. But the Braves get a run, a big Tanner Schobel RBI double. And Max Anderson running through the stop sign pays off for the Braves as they get that run and lead this game. 2-1, we head to the 6th. As we join you here back up in the broadcast booth, Reeves Jackson with you. And We'll send things down here to Calvin Cristoforo, who's with our own Connor Sherwood.
Yeah, well, Reeves, when you were out on Wednesday, I was up there in the booth, which means I wasn't on the sidelines. And we had a rotating cast of guests. You know, Joe Sullivan gave his sideline report. Connor tried to give his, but he couldn't turn the microphone on. It was off when he attempted to. So I want to start off by talking about the difficulties. What went wrong there when we threw it down to you in the sideline?
Well, I asked Joe, I said, is the mic on? And I thought he heard me, so I just went with it. And I thought it was on, and it clearly wasn't. And then people were asking me about it, and I didn't know the mic was off till the end, so just missed opportunity by me.
Yeah, the mic was off, so we didn't hear anything you had to say. I asked you, how's your summer going? What's it been like being a baseball operations intern for the Braves?
It's been awesome. You know, we're having a good summer. The team's a lot of fun. The guys are great. Everybody here has just made it a lot of fun. I mean, I'm from here, so it was the same but a little bit different at the same time. So it's been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed every minute of it, and hopefully we can end it with a ring.
And if you see sunflower seeds flying by us, Zach Agnos here, Braves third baseman, has the night off. He's flicking sunflower seeds by us. We're going to ignore him while I ask you this third question. What's been the most fun you said it a lot of fun. What's been the most fun thing?
I think just being here every day, home and away games we've been traveling to, it's been so much fun. Just being around the team. I do it at school as a student manager, but this is a little different. Everyone's just loose, having fun, playing the game they love, and it's been a lot of fun.
All right, guys, inning started, back up to you.
Ben Etheridge on here for his second inning of work, as the first pitch is fouled away from Trey Faltine. The 9-hole hitter for the Brewster Whitecaps, 9-1-2 this half inning. That's a good catch by a fan here in attendance.
You can hear from the crowd. We couldn't see it.
Yeah, we couldn't see it behind the press box.
You can tell from the roar.
0-1. What a slider there from Etheridge. 0-2 the count.
Etheridge coming into tonight's game with 17 strikeouts. He's thrown 16 pitches. He just throws strikes, and both of these hitters, they look hittable, but the way that their ball travels, it just drops off the table.
Popped up infield. It'll be Goodwin, and he makes the catch for out number 1. So continuing the good work. And ladies and gentlemen, my apologies for last inning. It was Ben Etheridge that had taken over on the mound for Austin Parsley when I had my brother on with us, so my apologies there. Ben, who worked a very clean 1-2-3 inning, got a ground out of short and got some help from his outfielders with Lampy and Colby Thomas making some nice catches on the run. So Etheridge now an inning and a third, and has gotten 4 outs as we turn things over to the top here in Mac Bingham.
Well, we lost the shadows here, but we got some clouds. A pretty sky in center field, if you can see that on the video stream, but a gorgeous night here. It stayed that way.
Grounded over to third. There's Goodwin. Nice play, 2 in a row to him.
There you go, Goodwin. Making up for his error a couple innings ago, and he just guns it over to Max Anderson, who is having quite the day at the plate.
Now batting, the center fielder from Vanderbilt, number 50.
This game is flying by. We thought it would be mostly pitching that was dominating this game, and it has been for the Braves, but they have attacked the Brewster Whitecaps pitching as well. We've put up 8 hits and have only gotten 2 runs across. That is something, again, that we continue to work on and we've continued to be plagued by this season.
And how about Spencer Jones, the Vandy kid, first pitch swinging. Knapcheck backs up and throws him out. Well, Ben Etheridge, a quick 1-2-3 inning once again for the Bravos pitching staff, trying to hold a 1-run lead in which they have only allowed 1 hit today. Home 6th we go, Braves lead. 7, 8, 9 for the Braves. This crowd has been one of the best all season. And I think they are enjoying a fantastic baseball game between two of the best teams in the Cape Cod League this season. Two teams that historically aren't the teams that really make the run into the playoffs. Usually it's the Catuit Kettleers, Chatham Anglers, and of late in the 2010s, the YD Red Sox, who won back-to-back-to-back titles from 2014 to 2016. Even Wareham has been very prominent. Falmouth. But historically speaking, Bourne and Brewster have not been what you could call the darlings of the Cape Cod Baseball League. This year, very well, Daniel, one of these teams could be taking home the CCBL hardware.
Statistically, yes, because both of these teams will be making the playoffs. It's just a matter of what the matchups are going to be in the divisional rounds as well as the championship. In the East Division, Brewster is leading behind them, the Harwich Mariners, then the YD Red Sox, then the Chatham Anglers, and the Orleans Firebirds. And, you look up and down that division, I would tell you every time that we play them that was a big game for us. They are stacked in the East. Not saying that we're not in the West, but the Braves have just really gotten off to a hot start and have kept that momentum all the way through their season. Behind us is the Kettleers, the Falmouth Commodore, the Wareham Gatemen, and the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, of course, with 7 wins. They continue to struggle, but we have run away with this division ever since the beginning. Colby Thomas is a big reason why.
Here is Colby. 2-2 count. How about the sun setting on the trees here? Gorgeous afternoon. You see that on your monitor at home. As Colby bounces it to third, takes a hop right into the glove of Bullard, who fires on to first. As Colby bounces out, it's been an interesting night. It's been quite clear at times. Clouds have rolled in, but whatever the cloud formation is doing on the sun right now that is setting on the trees behind us has made for one heck of a pretty afternoon as Josh Moylan steps in. We're going to miss doing games at Dorn Park when this internship is all said and done. We're looking forward to the final handful of games we have at home and hopefully get to maybe host the championship and celebrate on the home field if we're lucky enough to do that. As Moylan will face the lefty Oxford and a fastball outside called strike.
Boy,
Nothing
would that
more.
be something. The only thing about that would be it would have to make it to game 3.
Yes,
which would be
exactly.
a pressure-packed situation, and you never know what can happen in just one game of baseball. But, of course, that would be a special moment that everyone here would remember. Moylan, who's 1 for 2 on the day. As you mentioned, Reeves coming in with a 5-game hit streak. Make that 6.
Yeah, he is.
Well, he has a new bat now after he broke the last one that he told me after last game was his good luck charm. So hopefully.
Well, he's got the all black now. He's got the black barrel and the black handle. See how it treats Josh here. 0-2. Good eye. Now, Daniel, if it ends up being Brewster and Harwich as the 1-2 matchup, best of 3 series that, who knows would host. Obviously, 3-point differential right now, but let's say it's Brewster. Gets home game, 1-3 at Stony Brook. Who are you taking in that series right now if you had to choose? You've seen both teams. We've seen Harwich 3 times. We're seeing Brewster for our 3rd time. If you had to pick that series right now, who would you think?
I would say probably Harwich. I think at this point they've been really heating up towards the end. Hubbard, though, from Florida State for the Brewster Whitecaps, has been pitching an absolute shutout season. He is incredible, and so I think it would go 3. I think if that's the matchup, it will go 3, and I think the Mariners would be the ones to take it.
You want to hear an interesting stat? If you had to guess, they've played 3 games this year. 1 was canceled. They have 2 remaining. What would you say the record is between Harwich and Brewster?
And how many games did you say?
They've played 3. They have 2 remaining over the course of the final 6 games, 7 games. 1 was canceled. So they played 3.
I bet you Harwich has won all of them.
Brewster has won all of
Wow.
them. 3-0 against the Harwich Mariners. How about that? Isn't that crazy? I did not expect that.
Well, even against
It's just crazy to just the craziness of the league.
Well, you even talk about the 3-game stretch that we had against Hyannis about 3 weeks ago. And, we are statistically and record-wise leaps and bounds ahead of them.
Yeah.
However, it's baseball. You never know what type of performance you're going to get. So for us, even against Hyannis or Falmouth, we know that we're a very talented team and that we have the ability to win on a consistent level. However, it's baseball and you expect miscues to happen. You expect to have off nights, and Brewster, I guess, just has the number of the Harwich Mariners. And I'm surprised that they haven't dropped one. I would be shocked, however, if they went 5-0 against them this season.
Yeah, no, I would be too.
Because Harwich is one heck of a team.
Yeah, they're extremely talented. Obviously, you look at when some of these games happen, well, it was right when Brewster was really, really beginning to heat up in that Eastern Division. As we take a look at some of the games, obviously one happening on July the 11th, and Brewster, one of their many shutouts on the season, winning that game by a final score of 4-0. And then you go down the schedule. They just beat Harwich on July 26th, so not too long ago, just a few games ago on Monday. 4-3. That was a close one in which they were up 4-0. Harwich scored 3 late in that game. So something to keep an eye on in that Eastern Division as the season winds to an end. As Goodwin, who is having a day at the plate, 2 for 2 singles, 1 to left, 1 to right center, steps up with the bases empty and 2 down. Not sure what that delay was about, but regardless, back here, playing ball. Bottom of the 6th, this game moving quickly along despite 9 hits combined for these teams, but many missed opportunities for the Braves, but they still lead. Goodwin rips it. Harvey Shapiro does the 2-step to get out of the way.
He's been agile down there on the third base line. He got hit the other day.
I believe
he wasn't
that was
quick enough
Monday
to get out of
against Harwich, yeah.
Oh, boy. But, no, he's impressing me with his agility and his quick twitch over there.
Yeah, or in Sunday.
Third base-esque.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, and he wore that ball off, what, the foot or ankle, like a champ. He was like, we're good. Let's play ball. Although he wasn't wearing his helmet, had to get that. Goodwin, soft blooper, shallow center. Out goes Faltine. In comes Jones, who makes a sliding grab. A couple of Web Gem nominees for Spencer Jones in center field today. Braves go 1-2-3. It's time to go to the 7th. Braves trying to hold on to a small 1-run lead. Well, Ben Etheridge has been efficient here tonight. 6 up, 6 down. We'll try to carry the Braves through the 7th inning and to carry you through the 7th and the 8th. I'll turn it over to Daniel Coates.
Well, thank you, Reeves. A great job and a great 2 innings, as
Thank
always.
You. Appreciate that, my friend.
A picturesque night. Sun shining on the tree line in the distance. Fouled off for strike 1. And Ben Etheridge on the mound for the 3rd straight inning. And behind us, golden skies divided by one black cloud. And after that, a sunny tree line in the distance. 0-1. half-hearted swing from Bullard. And talk about Ben Etheridge. I always consider Ben Etheridge and Austin Parsley very similar
Yeah, I
pitchers.
think that's probably why I forgot, because I think they look the same
They
on the
also
mound.
look the same.
And in the face, unless you get up close.
Well, they also sit in the high to mid-80s with the fastball, but the breaking ball and the off-speed is really what gets the job done. Nick Goodwin at his chest. The double clutch and the delivery for out number 1.
Well, Nick Goodwin, since he had that misstep that led to a Brewster run, has been flawless over there at third since. So, saluting the effort of Nick Goodwin, as before the game we saluted the effort to all of the veterans of the armed forces that are in attendance on our Military Appreciation Night, and also Veterans Appreciation Night here at Bourne Park. So, thank you to all of those who serve, and obviously are lucky to be playing baseball thanks to everyone overseas that continue to protect our freedom.
Absolutely, Reeves and Thompson. He takes this one to right field. It's going to drift foul, but very similar to a couple of balls we've seen, one from Dalton rushing over Froggy's pole. It'll be the hard way to get the 0-1.
We've seen some
However,
foul ball homers today.
you look at the scoreboard out in right center. The Brewster Whitecaps have one hit on the day. Very uncharacteristic for them, but characteristic for the deliveries of Parsley and Etheridge, as that one misses outside 1-1.
No, I mean, it's been honestly a tremendous job, the ability they've done. The only hit came on a Spencer Jones rip up the middle. It came after the E5 that allowed Mac Bingham to reach. Brewster then had first and third, got a strikeout and then a bouncer over to third that allowed the first run to score.
1-1, taking up the middle. That's hit number 2. How about that, jinx?
Yeah, right? That's the old broadcaster jinx.
Unbelievable.
Sorry to the family of Ben Etheridge and to you, Ben, if you're listening later on. That's my apologies from that one. I'll take the blame.
Jake Thompson adds on to the hit count at 2. 1-2, the Braves have the lead at Bourne Park. Here on the hill of Cape Cod Upper Tech, just by the Sagamore and the Bourne Bridge. Here on the Cape, the latter half of the season, two of the best teams dueling here. 0-1. This is Chris Lanzilli, the right fielder. He has grounded out into a double play and struck out back in the 4th. With Jake Thompson at first, and a delivery from the stretch. He's got him with a breaking ball inside, and he's ahead. Something Nick and I were talking about is just how impressive these guys both have been on the mound by getting ahead and not really messing around when they have an 0-2 or a 1-2. They go right at him with what got them to the position of the 0-2.
I love that about pitchers. I don't like waste pitches. I do sometimes, depending on the count, depending on the situation, but...
Slapped to the right side of the infield. He's going to opt to the first base, and he's going to get Lanzilli on a ground ball weakly over to the right side. Christian Knapczyk might have had a double play ball, but he went the easy route. And Thompson improves to second with a man in scoring position. He represents the tying run.
Yeah, I think too slow to turn to the double play, so smart to get the second out. Although it does leave a runner in scoring position. Now Chad Castillo to the plate, who's been one of the team's best hitters since arriving on the Cape from California Baptist University. Castillo hitting above 300 for this Brewster team. 333, 12 for 36. That was coming into action today, and Castillo tonight 0 for 2. Was thrown out on a nice play by Tanner Schobel the last time. That was in the 5th.
Castillo 0 for 2 on the day. The designated hitter as Lanzilli with a weak ground ball to second base. Christian Knapczyk still on middle infield duty, but on the right side. Tanner Schobel covering Thompson at second. That one missing 1-0. Perfect night and a speedy game here between the top in the east and the top in the west. Castillo coming into the game with an exact average as Christian Knapczyk, 333.
Yeah, so great to have Nat back, and obviously much more than a 36 at-bat sample size for Christian. He has 90 at-bats, 30 hits coming into action tonight. But so nice to have the bat of Nap. Not in the leadoff spot where we've seen him. Do you think that Knapp will make his way back into the leadoff spot, or do you think Joe will kind of do a bookend turn in the lineup and start at leadoff and then end at leadoff? And what would you prefer?
I think I would still prefer Christian at the top. However, I also wouldn't mind seeing Knapczyk and Lampy at the 1-2, put Anderson at the 3 maybe, rushing at 4, maybe Colby at 5.
Okay, I like that.
I
Knapp
loved when they had that 1-2 punch between the leadoff and the second spot hitter. And just a look around the Cape. The Cotuit Kettleers have exploded to a 12-5 lead against the Wareham Gatemen. Swing and a miss, 1-1, now turns to 1-2.
That game actually, went final. I guess Darkness ended it over in Cotuit, 8 innings. So Cotuit, wow, big win for them.
Huge win for them, especially since they are now staying in the 2 spot against the Wareham Gatemen, who are also vying for that position. The Falmouth Commodores have defeated the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, or on the road to, I should say. They're at the bottom of the 5th. 2-1 here. Ground ball, Christian Knapczyk's way once again. The flick over to Anderson for out number 3. That's going to do it for the top of the 7th. We're going to the bottom of the 7th, where the Braves look for some more insurance runs. The 0-for-2 Joe Lampy looking to get on base for the second time tonight. That other time came in the 3rd, where he walked against the left-handed pitcher for the Brewster Whitecaps. This game is at a standstill, 2-1, and a defense and pitching dominated game. Showing bunt, pulling back on a high breaking ball.
Yeah, Braves have just had that slight edge, obviously, that RBI double by Tanner Schobel. How do you like Tanner in the cleanup spot in the Braves order? I mean, he's been great tonight. He's been hitting so well.
Hey, I love it. He doesn't have the frame as a Max Anderson or a Dalton Rushing, but he can provide the same result, it seems, 1-1.
Oh, man, Tanner.
And I remembered, I had something to tell you in between when we were off air, and I remembered.
All right.
Do you know the riddle about Pink Sky at Night?
I do not.
Pink Sky at Night, Sailor's Delight. It looks like we are in for a good day tomorrow at Wareham, and that means if you see Pink Sky in the morning, Sailor's Warning.
Okay.
As you see pink skies in center field, just above the flagpole. 1-2 for Lampy, who coming into today, batting at a .282, clip with 9 RBIs. 1-2. Stays at 1-2. Back into the golden sky towards the Cape Cod Canal. We're nearing the end of the Cape Cod League season. It seems crazy to say that. I feel like we're just here for our home opener against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks on June 20th.
Man.
Crazy
Where this team has gone, we never would have guessed it.
No.
Never.
2-2. And it really started with the 9-1 victory on June 21st at Brewster.
Yeah.
That really got us thinking, wow, this could be an incredibly special team as they're switching out balls here. Thinking that this could be an incredibly special team, and we just continue to rack up the wins, and didn't come until we lost to Katuitt. Really, just in the beginning parts of that season, or this season, I should say, with a 2-2 count and an opportunity to keep the momentum throughout the entirety of the season. 2-2 slap the shortstop's way, fielded cleanly. The throw, they got Joe Lampy. A great play by the shortstop, Faultine. A weak line drive that dropped just short and into the glove of Faultine, and a good throw to get the quickest player on the team down the first base line.
Now the ever dangerous Max Anderson stepping in. What a day he's had at the plate. 2 for 3. Jones took a homer away from him. See if he can provide some fireworks here at Bourne tonight.
Anderson 2 for 3 on the day. Breaking ball for strike one. The only unsuccessful trip to the plate came in the first inning. He was the second batter, of course, for the Braves, and he hit an absolute bomb towards the American flag in center field, and it was stolen away and robbed by Jones at the top of the yellow fence.
Interesting here for the Braves. John Garcia has grabbed a bat. Looks like he'll be pinch hitting for Dalton Rushing. Not sure if anything happened, but usually you would see maybe Rushing get an at bat and Garcia come in as a defensive replacement, but Garcia has grabbed a bat and is now hitting. That appears to be.
And we did see Rushing behind the plate defensively in the last half inning.
Yeah, interesting. Maybe just getting Garcia an AB, but
Oxford jumps ahead 1-2, a good fastball in the inner half. Anderson has hit the ball hard in every single at-bat he's had tonight, and really for the entire season, it seems.
Yeah, I tell you, his arrival to the team, we didn't realize it at the time, has been game-changing and season-defining. What he has brought to this lineup in the two-hole is invaluable.
Foul ball, and he stays alive. It went off the helmet, it looks like, of the catcher, Bourne. He seems okay.
I tell you what, if this kid can continue hitting at Nebraska the way he hit his freshman year and the way he has hit this summer, he's got bright things on the horizon in his future.
Even just imagining him with a metal bat is unbelievable.
And I think the cool thing is someone who is definitely into college baseball, but I go to Georgia, I'm into college baseball. I don't have a connection to any of the players. Obviously, I had my brother up here who played college and was into it then.
1-2, a great scoop over there, and the throw is successful by Faultine. An impressive snag off of one bouncer from Max Anderson.
But I think now, after having seen all of these players and all of these guys that will return to college, not just from Bourne, but from all the surrounding teams in this league, it's going to be fun for us as broadcasters to get to be able to track and follow their careers, not only in college, but to see where they end up after that.
Most certainly, and that's really the special part about this league.
Yeah, absolutely. It's what makes it what it is. Obviously, the season is fun, and having the opportunity to do this is even more fun, at least for us.
John Garcia, first pitch swinging. Pinch hitting for Dalton Rushing for a reason that is outside of our knowledge at the moment. Oxford ahead 0-1. And poor Bourne behind the plate has gotten hit around a couple of times. That's the second time, maybe even the third, honestly. We see that with Peter Burns. We see that with Bourne here tonight. These catchers are real tough guys behind the plate.
Yeah, they are. I'll tell you that.
They endure quite a lot. And
even
Oxford.
Colton Bender.
Even Colton Bender. Talking about the kid who got drafted in the 10th round by the San Diego Padres.
If Colton's listening or if he's going to be watching the postseason, well, Colton, we miss you and hope everything's all well with you.
A breaking ball dropping low for John Garcia, who defensively, you can't get any better for a stand-up and throwing catcher. Going to Grambling State. From Community College, he faces a 1-1. That's going to catch him on the inside. A real tough call on a wide inner half of the zone. Garcia has only one hit on the season. That came in our last trip to Eldridge Park against the Orleans Firebirds. He slapped one in between the first baseman and the second baseman for a base knock.
Yeah, and that has come in 8 at-bats for Garcia, but he'll be outstanding defensively for the final 2 frames of this game.
2-2, drifting high. A 2-2 count with 2 outs. 2-1 the Braves lead. But as we know best, 2 outs is when they thrive.
Well, Daniel, you said pink sky at night, sailor's delight. Check the forecast tomorrow, not a cloud in the sky.
Exactly.
There you go.
See, it works.
It does.
2-2. They say that it's going to be ball 3. A funky zone at the moment, but we're going to take a payoff pitch coming from Oxford. Tanner Schobel on deck. And Garcia's first trip to the plate tonight.
I feel like he's been pretty consistent with that outside half. And Garcia turns around and laughs, maybe goes, makeup golf?
It might have been.
May have been.
Full count. That breaking ball definitely catches for out number 3. Oxford strikes out Garcia in his first at-bat of the night. The Bourne Braves still lead 2-1, but it's getting close to crunch time here at Dorn Park.
TCU, number 36.
Somehow, some way, we have reached the top of the 8th.
8th, you said?
The time is 8:06.
Wow.
The top.
Oh,
I
my.
mean, this game is flying by, and that is due to the impressive work of the pitchers, not just from the Braves, but either side as well. Oxford striking out Garcia to end the 7th inning. To the top of the 8th, we have arrived. 0-1 turns into 0-2. Garcia has been submitted behind the plate here. Taking over for Dalton Rushing. We're not sure just why just yet. 0-2. Etheridge. High pop fly. It's coming our way. Reeves, get your glove out. It's actually going to stay in. The jumping Garcia cannot backhand it. Nick Goodwin there as well. It drops foul. Boy, I thought that was coming right at us.
I thought so, too. That was tricky. I got up, I stepped on my broadcast headset, and about ripped my ear off. And then I look up, and I think Garcia didn't really realize that it was going to be in play. He stayed in the crouch for a minute. You saw Nick Goodwin coming a mile from third. Goodwin still almost made the play.
0-2. Etheridge. That's the third base knock for the Brewsters today. The Brewster Whitecaps, I should say, as that is smacked in the middle by Curtis Bourne.
That was ripped. And that wasn't an error by the Braves defensively, but that was definitely a pop-up that had plenty of room near the backstop. There's some opportunities defensively. I know I'm kind of nitpicking at that. That's a tough play, but you know, every out counts, obviously. But here you'd love. Hey, we talk about the Braves pitchers and their patented double play balls recently. How about another one right here?
Let's see. 1-0, high and away. Bourne now 1 for 3 on the day, improving on a 196 average. With Nick Biddison, the second baseman, up at the plate. He would be the leading run if he were to get on the base path. 1-2. This one taken high, pop fly. Coming in is Colby Thomas, taking over and securing out number 1 in shallow right.
That's just a great job there by Christian Knapczyk. He's a key to that play right there. It's a tough sky to see a baseball in right now. It kind of blends in with the clouds. But Knapczyk, who points his finger to the sky, points to Colby Thomas where that ball is. That really does help an outfielder out. And regardless if Colby saw it off the bat or not, just heads up thinking there by Knapczyk. That's a smart baseball play.
Well, Nick Biddison now 0 for 3. That's his second fly out to right of the day. And the 9-spot hitter, Trey Faltine, who has been busy at short today.
Yeah, he sure has been. An incredible play.
Handful of plays defensively, especially in the last couple of innings. A breaking ball for strike 1. Garcia now behind the plate, and we don't know exactly what that is about, Reeves, but Garcia is a guy that we feel comfortable with most certainly, and that's why we brought him in, just because of his technique and how poised and composed he is defensively.
Yeah, regardless of any external factors we're not sure about. We do know that John Garcia, it's close debate between him and Peter Burns. How about this? I'd say Peter Burns is a better drop and block catcher as far as keeping balls in front of him. I would say John Garcia is a better catch and throw for runner stealing and throwing down to bases. So both guys you can't go wrong with. Obviously, Pete getting the day off entirely. So John with the duties to catch the rest of this game.
Now 2-1. The dark clouds drifting away, but the night sky right behind it. 2-1. That one gets behind Garcia. Going is Bourne. The throw. The tag. He's safe. A good backhand by Christian Knapczyk. No good on a 3-1 count. A rare miscue behind the plate. And just like that, the Whitecaps have the tying run in scoring position.
Yeah, obviously Garcia going to go out and have a word there with Etheridge. Just got behind John Garcia. Almost made an outstanding play. Apologizes to Ben back there. You rarely see John Garcia miss that ball. It's a big play right there. Puts a runner in scoring position now for Faltine. But hopefully Ben can work out of it. You definitely want to keep this game where it is at 2-1 and then have the Braves offense come back up in the bottom half of the 8th. And then with the chance, what do you think? We see Eric Adler tonight? I know we saw him on Wednesday, but off the day off, would you say so in an important game like this? I'd say yes. What do you think?
I would say yes as well. He's really the go-to guy. And there we go. That's going to be the 9-spot hitter walking first and second. And Etheridge unable to find the strike zone on a 3-1 count. Top of the order for the 4th time, Mac Bingham.
Yeah, Tyler Stewart, Southern Miss teammate of Ben Etheridge, is getting loose in the Braves bullpen right now. Obviously, the Braves losing both Cade Smith and Dylan Bowers.
And here comes Harvey Shapiro, slowly walking out to the mound, and I believe we're going to have a change here. If Harvey Shapiro is any indication.
Yeah, we will. Well, will we? Yeah, it appears that Stewart's coming in.
Tyler Stewart taking over for the other Southern Miss pitcher, Ben Etheridge.
Let's see.
I'm assuming he'll get the nod. He's coming
Yes.
in through the bullpen, and he does get the nod. But how about Ben Etheridge? Only gave up 2 hits, no runs. And the Braves now have a new pitcher, 2-1. We'll tell you about him after the break. Welcome back. Tyler Stewart's first batter face will be Mac Bingham in the top of the order. He shows bunt. One that goes a bit too far outside. The biggest change here is going to be the velocity of the fastball from the 6'9" Tyler Stewart. Men on first and second for the Whitecaps and their road teals.
Yeah, really depending on Stewart, another Southern Miss right-hander, 6'9", obviously. Trying to work the Braves out of a jam.
Now 2-0. Only 1 out. The double play ball up the middle still in play.
Yeah, Joe Lampe shading Bingham here. A hair to the left of that second base back. Not much, but it is a little bit. Bingham here obviously from Arizona by way of San Diego, California.
2-0 showing bunt. That's a third ball. Tyler Stewart yet to find the zone.
You got to come in throwing strikes. It's been a problem with the Braves bullpen over the course of the past week. They've been walking way too many hitters, especially coming fresh out of the bullpen. You can afford walks as long as they're not the leadoff hitter, especially when there's already runners on base. Got to trust your defense. If they get hits, they get hits. That's one thing. Can't be issuing free passes.
3-0. He shows bunt again. 4 pitches, 4 balls, and that is a walk that's going to load the bases. Tyler Stewart still looking for his first strike of his outing on this Friday evening. 1 out. Force at every bag with the 2 spot, Spencer Jones. 1 for 3 on the day. He stole a base and singled back in the 4th.
Yeah, this kid's exceptional. Vanderbilt player, gotta be careful here.
Batting at a .269 average. This one line to Schobel. He might throw it over to first. He holds on to it. And a monumental moment for Tyler Stewart and Tanner Schobel. A laser over to the shortstop for out number 2. And just like that, we're 1 out away from stranding 3 Whitecaps on the base path.
Deep breaths now.
Wow.
My goodness, that was
Any
roped.
other spot, that was a single.
No
doubt about it.
And if that gets past Schobel, that's in the gap clearing the bases.
And we might be looking at 2, potentially 3 runs scored.
Yeah, Tony Bullard, third baseman, 0 for 3 in this game. Would love to keep it that way. Make it 0 for 4.
0-0 breaking ball low and in the dirt.
Yeah, so Brewster dugout being loud right now, trying to get in the head of Tyler Stewart. Had that first pitch fastball that Spencer Jones just roped. Went with the first pitch breaking ball, trying to get him off guard, but got to go back to the fastball here, I imagine, to get a strike across.
1-0. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Bullard is 0 for 3 on the night. He has 1 RBI for the Whitecaps. Is in a position to double that, maybe even triple. Another swing and a miss. The Braves side with some noise of their own from the fans, responding to the chirping from the Whitecaps dugout. 1-2 for the Southern Miss kid. A monumental moment in this East versus West potential preview of what is to come later this season. The 1-2, breaking ball, taking Schobel's way, diving, but that is not going to get stopped by the glove. Here comes the throw to home. It's off Garcia's chest. 2 Brewster Whitecaps score. Now 3-2 off Tony Bullard's base knock. And just like that, the Whitecaps take the lead.
Yeah, just a great piece of hitting. Got a breaking ball outer half. It was a pretty good pitch there from Tyler Stewart. It was on the outer half. He just poked the bat out there and got enough good wood on it and just past the diving Schobel. Good pitch, even better piece of hitting. Nothing you can do about it if you're Stewart right there.
A 2-run swing. Three to 2. The Whitecaps have taken the lead here in the top of the 8th. Men on first and third. First pitch swinging, and that's going to go foul off the bricks of Cape Cod Upper Tech. Jake Thompson, now the man up. Bullard responds on an 0-3 night with 2 RBIs. The 0-1, now 1-1. Good stop by Garcia. One and one, and this Bourne Braves faithful side has been silenced. Stewart. That one taken foul. And he's ahead now, 1-2.
How many baseballs do you think are on top of that building?
I gotta think hundreds.
You think they get them?
Of course.
Just kidding. I'm kidding.
They have to.
I'm messing.
Of course they do.
Yeah, but the Braves' bats got to go to work now. They'll have 2 opportunities. If they can't get it done in the 8th, they'll have a second opportunity to do it in the 9th inning. We know they love to play with the heroics late in the game. Time and time again, they'll have to do it here again tonight if they want to take away a tie or a win.
1-2, taking a left field, going back is Jump at the wall, and he secures out number 3. Close to the fence and close to a 3-run shot there from Thompson. We're going to the bottom of the 8th. 2 more opportunities and 6 outs to play with for the Braves bats. 3-2, they trail by 1.
2-6, 4-8.
Down 3-2. Now the Braves look to battle back here at Doran Park and avoid loss number 7. I'm going to send it to you down there, Calvin, by the dugout of the Braves. The bats need to get going. How are we going to come back and win this game?
Well, you know what, Daniel? The Braves fall behind in the 8th inning, fall down 3-2 after being up 2-1. But this is a Braves team we've seen fight back night in and night out. You look at even the game on Wednesday, they were up 3-2, sure, different situation, but they rattled off a 5-run 8th. This is a team that has 21 wins for a reason. It's because they never give up, and they win games that people count them down and out of. So the Braves, 2 innings to score a run or 2 tonight to try to tie or win this game. So by no means are they out of this ball game against a very talented Brewster Whitecaps team that has a very, very good pitching staff. It's not going to be easy, but if there's any team that can do it, it's this Braves squad.
Well, this game has been flipped right on its head. The Brewster Whitecaps on the road lead by a run. It's 3-2. And the Braves need to get the bats going if they want to escape and avoid loss number 7. 22-6-3 against the Brewster Whitecaps, who sit at 19-9-3. The Kings of the West versus the Kings of the East. Tanner Schobel passes on one high and outside to start the bottom of the 8th.
Yeah, 50th pitch of the night now for the left-hander Brennan Oxford from Durham, New Hampshire.
1-0, now 2-0. Tanner Schobel is 2 for 3 on the day. He has had quite an evening. A base knock in the first and a double back in the 5th. 2-0. 3-0. Oxford missing high here. 3-0. And have to imagine Schobel will be taking at this one.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what I would give if I was Harvey Shapiro.
No, I think Harvey's going to give him the take sign. You got to get runners on late in the game. Oh, this would be a huge walk to start the game. This inning, excuse me.
3-1. Again, how about a moment for Hunter Jump, who is on deck, for him to make his Bourne Braves debut. 5-pitch walk. There goes Tanner Schobel down the first base line. A Bourne Brave on the base path. And again, Jump in a situation where he has to produce. The first game he is in for the Braves after the off day, and it looks like there might be a change coming for the Brewster Whitecaps or just a mound meeting. Oxford has been in for quite some time. 54 pitches, and I think they're going to make a change. They will be making a change. Oxford's night is done. Tanner Schobel on first, no outs, bottom of the 8th. The Bourne Braves trail by 1. Dale Stanovich from Rutgers University taking over for Oxford in what is another crucial at-bat for Hunter Jump in his first day as a Bourne Brave.
Yeah, 59 hits for Jump. Didn't really properly introduce Jump for you. A 289 average at Arizona State. You look at his power numbers, only hit 2 homers on the season. He drove in 30 at 59 hits and 204 at-bats, so was highly productive with the Sun Devils. So Daniel, he's over 3 tonight, but it'd be a great time for his first hit. We know he can produce. We're excited to have him, the Kentucky transfer, who's thrust into this Braves lineup now against the Rutgers lefty.
Yeah, we would take his first hit right here. That is for sure. Schobel takes a lead at first. Showing bunt, he gets it down. Schobel going to second, unable to handle it, but he gets him at first.
That's huge. That's big. That's a big break. That was a hard bunt. Easily could have gotten Schobel, but it works as a sack, and that's a great job.
Stanovich fielded it cleanly at first, but with the grab, fumbled it a bit. Wasn't able to get Schobel, the leading base runner, and a sacrifice bunt there for Jump.
Hey, this is where it pays dividends to have a guy like Knapczyk, your leading hitter in the 6th spot tonight. Chance to tie it up.
Knapczyk showing bunt, pulling back, ball 1. Knapczyk on the night, 0 for 3. Still, as Reeves said, getting his sea legs from a handful of days off and out of town.
Yeah, about a week absence and now back.
1-0 with 1 out. I believe the last time we saw him was against the Chatham Anglers.
Indeed, you're right.
At Veterans Field. 2-0. I think they were challenging down to the second base umpire to see if he might have went around in defense, but it stays 2-0.
Yeah, thank goodness.
A man in scoring position, a speedy Tanner Schobel, with his fellow middle infielder at the plate. 2-0 battled off, now 2-1. The crowd has not wavered here tonight. One of our best showings for a home game. Friday night, Veterans Appreciation Night, and our military Reds with the camo hats. 2-1. Stanovich from the stretch. That one high. Tanner Schobel thinks about going. He holds off. The bricks bouncing that pitch right back to Bourne and Stanovich.
Yeah, we saw that hurt the Braves earlier this season. Remember when that ricocheted off the bricks and we ran into an out? I think that's very smart by Schobel. Yes, he could have made it to third. Obviously, he doesn't know that that ball is going to ricochet past the catcher, Bourne. If it ricochets to Bourne, Schobel's out by a mile. So smart move by Tanner. Hence edge 20-20, but that's a smart move, and let Knapczyk drive you in. But that was a wild, wild pitch there from Stanovich.
Three-1. Swing and a miss. Full count payoff pitch. Colby Thomas on deck. A part of the order that has been hot as of late. Colby on deck, and in the hole, Josh Moylan. Behind him, Nick Goodwin. Only 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. 3-2 taken foul.
Well, do we see King foul ball start to really work Stanovich? You know, Knapczyk loves to spoil these pitches. It's what he does so well.
Full count. One out. Swing and a miss. Down goes Knapczyk. He's 0 for 4 on the day. Schobel remains at second. A disappointed Knapczyk giving some advice to Colby Thomas, who is the last hope here in the bottom of the 8th. Only 4 more outs to work with.
Yeah, Colby has got the red bat to match the jersey and trying to put that boomstick to use here. Anything in the outfield, Tanner Schobel's coming to the plate, regardless of how hard it's hit. Braves need this run.
Stanovich misses low and inside. Schobel still at second. The breeze picking up a bit here, blowing out to right center. Tanner Schobel with the lead, and Colby Thomas has 4 home runs on the season. We wouldn't mind a fifth here.
Oh, we would. You got the favorable matchup, too, the righty against the lefty. I wonder if they opt to pitch carefully to Thomas here and go after the lefty Moylan with the lefty Dale Stanovich on the mound. Interesting to see what plays out.
1-0, big cut fouled back into the net.
Well, it appears they're going to go right after Colby. That was a fastball middle away. And he tried to jump all over. Thought for a second they might just try to waste some breaking balls down at his ankles and try to get him to swing and miss. And if it doesn't work, well, you got a lefty-lefty favorable matchup on deck. They still have the choice to do that. Could maybe play around with Colby and see what he does, but I have a feeling they're going to go right after him.
1-1. Another foul ball, now 1-2. Stanovich a pitch away. One and two to Colby Thomas. The Mercer Bear back in another pressure-filled situation. Behind in the count, however, with 2 outs, his teammate Tanner Schobel at second. Swing and a miss. Just tipped, actually, foul. And dribbles back to the brick backstop. Joshua Moylan on deck. Colby Thomas, 3 foul balls. He's staying alive and treading water here. In his 4th at-bat of the game, he grounded to short in the 2nd, flew out to center in the 4th, and grounded to 3rd back in the 6th. 1-2, Stanovich. That one's inside, getting high, and behind him, and improving to 3rd, Tanner Schobel takes advantage of a bobbled ball by Bourne that went sky high and towards the backstop. 2-2. Tanner Schobel now takes over 3rd.
Oh, baby. Boy, is this getting interesting. For a minute, Schobel was thinking about going home to the pitcher. Stanovich had to corral it. That ball ricocheted so high that the catcher Bourne had no clue where it went.
Now 2-2 for Thomas. With the Braves' red bat. 2-2, Schobel at 3rd. Chopper to 3rd. Tanner Schobel going to home. Colby Thomas can't beat out the throw from Bullard. Just like that, Tanner Schobel and another Bourne Brave is stranded in scoring position. 3-2, the Brewster Whitecaps will be at the plate for one last time. They lead by 1, and the Braves trying to take the lead back here in the 9th.
Top of the 9th, swing and a miss to start things here for Chris Lanzilli. The 5-hole hitter for the Brewster Whitecaps. Tyler Stewart back on here, top 9. Nick Galley joined with me now. Here in the top of the 9th, Nick, Braves trailing 3-2. I was telling Daniel it wasn't a bad pitch, that breaking ball there to Tony Bullard. He just poked the bat out there, made solid contact, and just got it past the diving Schobel, who was playing a little more up the middle.
Well, you know, I think the main issue with that play
is that one ripped up the middle. Knapcheck backhand, throws across his body. What a play.
I think the main issue with that play wasn't even the play itself. It was the pop-up that could have been caught down here on the third base side earlier.
That is it. That's exactly what Daniel and I were discussing.
So Bourne should have been out of the inning. And by the way, nice of you to show up today. I was sick of covering you for the past week, it felt like. Well, you just had a jolly good old time with your Southern family.
With my Southern family.
Your Southern family. Who
You're darn right.
Great to see them here, though, I will say.
Yes, thank you. Appreciate that. Harvey Shapiro making his way out onto the mound.
Going to get a pitching change here.
Don't know who exactly that is throwing down in the Braves bullpen. Looks like number 7. That is
Adler.
Eric Adler. But it's going to be Stewart staying in. Harvey Shapiro just talking things over. So.
Oh, just talking things over.
Just talking things over. So Stewart will stay in after the first pitch. I should say first batter ground out from Lanzilli. Chad Castillo, the designated hitter.
The Twitter fingers are getting ready there for the pitching change.
Oh, they were. You were getting ready. You were gearing up. As that one misses high and away. Well, Daniel and I were talking about the Braves' defense just has been off.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of errors recently.
A lot of errors recently, and although that doesn't go in the book as an error, you won't see that on the box score. A prime opportunity. I don't know if John Garcia thought it was just out of play, but he was in the squad for quite a while until, I guess, the teammates in the infield kind of signaling to him that ball was well in play, and it wasn't necessarily that close to the backstop. He had plenty of room, but was close to the net where the bad boys sit.
It was right in this kind of gravel area, or as you would say, stone dust.
Hey, that's where we're going to be tomorrow night.
Oh,
the stone dust field of the Wareham Gateman at Spillane.
Yeah, but obviously the Katua game, defense wasn't too sharp either. You might not know because that was the one you bailed early, and we all had to pick up your slack. But
Sky to left. There's Jump. We'll make the catch. Jump. Got a good one. How do you like that, Nick?
I don't. That's how that goes.
Oh, always got to. You know what? You're a good person to try out the jokes on.
Yeah, because I'll give it to you straight.
You're always gonna make fun of me.
Yeah.
But I can tell when you're actually like they're horrible, and when you're like I'm just gonna mess with you, they're bad.
No, that one was actually
horrible.
sickening. I'm sick to my stomach. Might just put the mic down and hop right off the broadcast.
Alrighty, that sounds good. Well, Nick, it was a pleasure.
I won't leave you alone. Won't leave you alone.
Here's Curtis Bourne. Well, the Braves, we talked about it. They have a flair for the dramatic. Obviously, a walk-off win coming at home to Orleans. That was a little over a week ago. Can they do it again tonight?
I don't know, Reeves. I mean, the way this game's going, it's weird with Bourne. I mean, a lot of times we see them strand guys in scoring position. They can't bring guys in with less than 2 outs. They'll get stuff going with no outs or 1 out, and they just can't put it all together. We see that a lot in these games where the offense isn't really going. But then they flip a switch in the 9th, and we've seen that many, many times. So,
well, if issue 1 has been the defense lately, I think issue 1A has been leaving runners in scoring position, and I think you could even flip-flop that.
It's been bad. It's been really bad, and that is going to kill you in the playoffs. It will kill you. You will not last if that's happening in the playoffs.
Breaking ball misses high. I was telling Daniel, it kind of reminds me of the season offensively as a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Obviously, you started off on such an uphill climb for the Bourne Braves, and then during the middle of the season, kind of started going down. But then YD, if you remember that Saturday home game, 10 runs on 15 hits. They did it without a homer. Yeah. That kind of sparked the offense for a few weeks. And then over the past 8-9 days, it seems like it's
been a question mark. It just doesn't feel.
Now, granted, you lose guys like Caden Wallace and Braylon Wimmer. That's big. But obviously, a lot of faith in Hunter Jump, who's automatically inserted into the 5 spot, a .289 hitter with a few homers at Arizona State.
He'll get clicking eventually.
Like we got Lucas Costello. So the outfield, a lot more depth out there, which has got to be comforting for Harvey Shapiro. Good battle here between Curtis Bourne and Tyler Stewart.
It got cold out here.
What
is
The
happening?
low tonight's 59. It's 72 right now.
This doesn't feel. This is a.
It's
this is
a little
crisp,
windy.
crisp 72 right here.
Yeah, my family was not ready for this temperature. I got
No.
the hoodies on.
Did they just buy those?
Nah, one's mine, one's my brother's that I bought for him earlier.
Okay, all right. Nice of you to buy your brother one.
Of course. Payoff fish. Oh, he paid me. Oh, you don't? Oh, he paid me.
You better have.
Yeah, had my brother on the broadcast earlier. That was
How'd
fun.
that go?
It was good. It was good.
I am so glad I wasn't out here for 2 Jacksons.
Oh man.
Oh my goodness.
You would not have been able to.
I
handle
would have
it.
been vomiting over the
you
over the railing.
The attention would not be on the game. It'd be on this
No.
broadcast deck
I'd
because
just
you
be
would
sitting here
you would
with
be sick.
a disgruntled just look on my face.
Good thing you. I don't know if you didn't even. Did you know that he was coming on that inning?
I
or
just
did
saw
you?
him walk by. I was like,
They're like, oh,
what's
do we look
happening?
alike?
A little bit.
And the beard, I guess.
It's weird. Your dad is such a nice guy. I don't know where he went
yeah,
wrong
no,
with you.
I don't know.
I don't
what
know
happened
why you
either.
ended up the way you are.
I don't either. I wish someone could fix it.
It's crazy.
I have no answer for what is the reason
I don't
that
get
I'm
it.
like this. But we'll try to persevere.
You'll get through. You'll get through. There's a big pitch right here, though.
Yeah, payoff pitch here from Stewart. This is line
Wow,
foul.
that's a good AB.
Well, when the Braves come back to the bottom of the ninth, not sure who they'll face, if it'll be the same pitcher, but they'll have Josh Boylan, Nick Goodwin, who has had an outstanding day at the plate, and then Joe Lampy, who is 0 for 3 with a walk. Goodwin, who came into this game 0 for 20, broke out of that with 2 singles.
Yeah, I mean, he's looked real
0
good
for his
tonight.
last 20.
Look real good tonight.
This one is lifted into
Can of corn.
center field.
Can
Joe
of corn.
Lampy. That is a can of corn.
That's easy money.
That's easy money for Joe Lampy when he got the wheels that he does. Well, Nick will sit back, relax, and watch if the Braves can make a comeback in the bottom of the ninth. Well, it's comeback time in Bourne. Bottom of the ninth inning. And the Braves will try to do business here. Still against Dale Stanovich. The Braves with 3 walk-off wins here at Dorn Park on the season. You go all the way back 3 weeks ago when Caden Wallace sent one over the head of the right fielder Clark Elliott. Braves walked it off against Hyannis. Just a few short days later, it was Colby Thomas with a walk-off home run, to left field. Braves winning that game by 1. And then just a little over a week ago, Peter Burns with an RBI single into center field. And the Braves beating the Firebirds 4-3. It's going to be Lucas Costello getting a pinch hit opportunity for Josh Moylan. Going with the matchup of righty-lefty.
And you like the move, Reeves.
I do. I like the righty-lefty. I do like the switch. Get the favorable matchup. And a first pitch strikeout or half. Good pitch there from Stanovich.
Costello got his first hit of his Cape League career on Wednesday against YD. It came as a bunt. Still looking for the swing of the bat here, and about as important a time as ever.
1-1 the count. Nick Goodwin is on deck. Will be followed by the leadoff hitter, Joe Lampe. As Costello takes his time, adjusts the batting gloves. Braves trailing by a run. Brewster trying to get a game closer to the Braves of the overall #1 seed. That's a called strike. Well, Daniel, with how dominant this team has been this entire season, we thought that the #1 overall seed would be a shoo-in. Well, if Brewster wins tonight and beats Bourne, well, Brewster would just be 2 games behind Bourne for best record in the CCBL. And if they ended up in a date in the championship, well, Brewster would have home field advantage if they continue the run on. The Braves continue the near 500 play they are at over the course of the past 6-7 games. 2-2 the count.
Costello now battling back. He has Nick Goodwin on deck, who's 2 for 3 on the night.
That is a fastball that just misses inside. Oh, Costello.
Wow.
That pitch was close.
That's as close as it's going to get.
Wow.
Full count and a payoff pitch. This is a tone setter.
A big moment in this game. A walk could mean huge things for Bourne. Costello, though, has to protect. Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Not sure if it was in the zone or not, but Costello goes down 1 away.
A good at-bat, just didn't end the way that he wanted it. The pitch was there. It was in his wheelhouse, high and inside. He went after it and paid the price.
So Costello goes down on strikes. Here is Nick Goodwin. 2 for 3 today with 2 singles, a run scored. The Braves have left plenty of runners on base throughout the night. As Goodwin whiffs. Strike 1.
Goodwin with one of his best games in recent memory, a 2 for 3 performance, and he scored the first run for the Braves tonight.
0-1. Big cut there from the Kansas State Wildcat, but comes up empty.
0-2 here. Really need to buckle down. Joe Lampe's on deck, but behind him is Max Anderson. If you can get it to Max Anderson with 2 outs, anything can happen.
Goodwin goes down on 3 fastballs. Right by him, Stanovich. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, 2 away.
Here comes Joe Lampe. He has only 1 hit on the day. He's 1 for 4. That came, or I should say, has only gotten on base once. That was a walk back in the 3rd. He's still looking for his first single of the night. Right now would be by far the best opportunity for him to make up that ground because Max Anderson is on deck, and Max Anderson would represent the winning run. And we know that he can hit it far and he can hit it high.
That's in the dirt, ball 1. Yeah, I think the key here is get it to Max Anderson, although it would be an opportune time for Joe Lampe to hit his first home run of the season. No better time than now. But for Bourne, trying to play it station to station. 1-0. Lampe called strike. Lampe asking if he went around, if it was called. Umpire says it was called. Lampe goes, okay. Count even. The difference in this game could be a Spencer Jones game-saving catch in center that really wasn't sure how it would come back to impact this game. Took away a Max Anderson solo shot all the way back in the 1st inning, where he almost flipped completely over the center field wall right next to the 395 sign. Brewster by 1, 2-1. Good pitch, strike 2. And Stanovich a strike away from striking out the side and ending things for the Braves here tonight.
Here we go, Joe. 2-2, 2 outs. Bottom of the 9th.
Stanovich deals. That is outside, 3-2. Definitely missed. Good call. And this game culminates into a payoff pitch. If Lampe's patient enough and finds the pitch missing, well, the Braves would send Anderson to the plate as the potential winning run. 3-2. Lampe rips it back to the screen.
Wow. And he went with the heater there, too, right in the middle. And Joe Lampe had no choice but to go after it.
Yeah, just tried to see if you can hit it. Do it. If you can't, well, I beat you. Payoff pitch. 3-2. That's up and in, and the Braves have a base runner, the fastest guy with 2 down. And when you're bringing this guy to the plate, you like your chances.
From the University of Nebraska, number 31, Max Anderson.
Max Anderson tonight is 2 for 4. A double, a single, a run scored. We mentioned the homer robbed in center by Spencer Jones, and a ground out to shortstop. That was to Faultine. Lampy aboard at first. Has to be careful. He's been picked off twice this year. I'm sure Stanovich will check, and he does. That run, obviously important, the game-tying run, but don't see any need to even risk running at the plate. You put one into the gap with the outfielders playing as deep as they are, would try to cut down Lampy at the plate. Obviously playing a no-doubles defense. First pitch high, 1-0. Borderline pitches right here that are going the Braves' way.
Great eye there from Max Anderson. As you mentioned, that first inning bomb that was stolen from Jones is about as good as you can get here at Doran Park. Can we see it again?
Good eye from Max, 2-0. Zach Agnos has grabbed a bat and is in the on-deck circle for John Garcia. Agnos could potentially get up in a ginormous situation late in this game. 32 pitches for Stanovich. It's a 2-0 count here to Anderson. And he misses. Oh, never mind. Late strike call. Excuse me. Daniel, you good?
Oh my God! I had my headphones jumping off my head.
2-1 the count to Anderson.
Even we're nervous up here in the booth.
Yeah, we are. Trust me. The hands are a little sweaty. It just slipped. 2-1. A check over on Joe Lampy. Can the Braves play hero ball once again tonight? 3 walk-offs on the season. Looking for lucky number 4. Big cut and a miss from Max.
I'll tell you what, that was his pitch. Inner half, he looked like he was trying to pull it. He was trying to get under it, but a great pitch from Stanovich. One last chance.
Count even at 2-2. Bourne crowd getting into it. Joe Lampy with a lead from first, and Anderson swings and misses. Stanovich fired up, picks up the save for the Brewster Whitecaps. They take it by a final score tonight of 3-2. Back up here in the broadcast booth, Reeves Jackson and Daniel Coates. Braves lose by a final of 3-2 here tonight. And Daniel, obviously, with the Braves going down, Brewster now just 2 games away from Bourne for the best record in the league. A Brewster team now with 20 wins on the season, 29-3. Bourne falls to 22-7-3. So both of these teams have played the same amount of games. And with 7 games remaining, Bourne's opportunity for the number 1 overall seed all of a sudden is in jeopardy.
Well, it's right there. And this 3-2 victory for them is huge, not just for momentum, but also for that top record coming into the playoffs. But again, it's the same story for the Braves. It's continuing to get production and get those players into scoring position, but not actually getting them there. That is really the trouble that they're having. It's been the same type of game. We knew it was going to be pitching and defense dominated. The Braves had double the amount of hits, 4-8, but they couldn't get the runs across. And again, that continues to plague them. Need to find that out. Maybe try and make some changes in the lineup, but the same story that we predicted in opening night.
Well, the Braves fall to 2-4 in their last 6, now 5-5 in their last 10 games. I think you hit the nail on the head. If issue 1 for the Braves has been scoring with runners in scoring position, well, then issue 1A, I was telling Nick, has been errors defensively. And those are some problems that the Braves will have to clean up. Well, the Bourne Braves fall in this one by a final score of 3-2. The Braves tomorrow night are at Spillane Field with a divisional matchup against the sliding Wareham Gatemen, you could say at the least, with another loss, 12-5 to get to it tonight. We'll be back in the Shark Cage tomorrow night, and we can't wait for you to join us on our audio-only broadcast. Braves fall to Brewster tonight, 3-2 in a battle of the top teams in the league. We'll be back tomorrow night. Look forward to joining you then.